a moment. More Americans are switching to all-family pharmacy because getting medication should not depend on your insurance company telling you no. If you already know what works for you and want real medical freedom, you have to choose the right pharmacy. All Family Pharmacy handles everything, including the doctor's prescription, ships right to your door. So please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/bill, use code BILL10, save 10% on your next order.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. For more news and honest analysis, please go to BillO'Reilly.com. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, Friday, freedom fighters. Hi, Ken.
Good morning, Vic. Happy Friday.
You too, baby.
It's Friday!
It's Friday. That means David Stokes from the Show Me Institute will be by. Larry Connors. When you want to talk about war and military stuff, you got to go to a Marine, right? And that guy here is Larry Connors. He's at 925. Susie Moore, what are you watching? Miller Time, all that great stuff. Chat box. Who's doing the Pledge of Allegiance, Ken?
Dr. Carol Lieberman.
Oh, America's psychiatrist or something like that.
Yeah, America's therapist.
I think it's psychiatrist.
Is it?
I think.
Okay.
Okay, Carol. Doctor, sorry.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. We ready to roll here, Kenny? We ready to go? No?
No. No, not usually.
Why would we be?
Right. Why would we ever be?
I see the phone thing is here. Ah, got it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so the city has, this is a quote, the city has been hemorrhaging population, jobs, and wealth for decades. Honestly, at this point in its history, what does St. Louis have to lose? Wow, great quote. That comes from the Show Me Institute's heavyweight champion of municipal policy, David Stokes. Hi, champ.
Hello, Vic. Hello, Ken. Great to be on the air with you guys, as always.
David.
Did I have that quote right?
You quote perfect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it with your listeners. That's the final quote of my op-ed printed yesterday in the Post-Dispatch, and we appreciate the Post carrying it, about why it really is time. It's always been time, but it's time to start phasing out the earnings tax in the city of St. Louis. And, nothing else is working. Redevelopment by tax subsidy is not working. Begging companies nicely to relocate downtown is not working. I mean, nothing's working in the city. So let's try something different. Let's try something even radical. And I would suggest finally doing what Professor Joe Haslig suggested 20 years ago in one of our first papers for the Show Me Institute, is that to phase out the earnings tax and replace it with a land tax, which is just a property tax on land, and see if that works better. I think it will. I know it will, but nobody says it's politically easy.
So what's the percentage right now on the city earnings tax?
Well, the traditional percentage, and I don't have like the 2026 numbers, but it funds about a third, maybe a little more. I would maybe even more of the city's general fund. So it funds a lot of city services. That's why nobody ever says this is going to be easy. But in April, so we're less than 4 weeks, right about 4 weeks from today, city voters are once again voting to retain the earnings tax or to phase it out. They have to do that every 5 years, and usually it's retained by a wide percentage at the electorate, about 80, 85%. I certainly suspect it will be retained again by the voters this year. But it's not working. Like, the earnings tax does harm people.
Yeah. It's
not the only reason the city is struggling. Crime is huge. Bad schools is huge. The tornado is nobody's fault, of course, although I guess some people in emergency management you can blame for not getting the alarm out fast enough. But that's not making things any easier. And, you need to try something. I would say try something radical. And it's time to admit that it's not working. The city's never going to grow with that earnings tax, even if some of those other problems may be even larger. And let's handle the one that we can handle. Let's make the change that you can change and try a system that worked in Pennsylvania in the 1980s, land taxation, and let's go with it. And the op-ed in the Post explains it much further than that. And if you really want the details on it, you can go to showmeinstitute.org for Joe Haslick's papers on the earnings tax.
All right, I don't think I asked the question right, Dave. I apologize for that. Like when we worked in the city, there was a 1% city tax. Is that what we're talking about here?
Right, the city earnings tax.
So how much is it now? Is it more than 1% now?
You're right, Vic. I'm sorry. I thought you meant what percentage of the budget does it make up? No, it's still 1%.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing you mentioned there was crime. Until somebody really, really takes a look at what the problem is, and they don't all agree that crime is the number one problem, then it's never going to get any better. You know what else isn't going to get any better? Was it Einstein that says you keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result? Well, we've been voting for Democrat mayors for 70 years. Maybe a Republican mayor might help.
Well, let's focus on the crime part.
Okay, yes.
Because that's indisputably true. And I don't. Nothing I wrote is taking down the situation. That getting a hold of the crime problem in the city is the most important thing. According to most crime stats, crime is down somewhat in St. Louis City in the last couple of years. That's a wonderful thing. It's still way too high compared to comparable metropolitan areas and comparable cities, and people don't feel safe. So it's all sort of mood. Until you feel safe, until you're confident you're not going to get murdered while in a drive-thru at Starbucks, people aren't going to go into the city. And so it has to be. I think the data is pretty clear that throughout America, there's a very, very small number of people who commit a very large percent of the serious crimes. And until you have the political will to take those people and remove them from society for a long time, it's not going to get better. Look, we finally, the past year and a half to 2 years, have returned to having a good prosecutor in the city of St. Louis who's actually trying to prosecute crimes and protect the people there. I think we have a good police chief. That part's good. There aren't enough policemen and women who are willing to be cops in the city of St. Louis right now. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that beyond just pay. So it's hard. But that's the type of thing that's hard to control. I mean, there are many, many, many forces out there involving crime. Although if you have the political will to just arrest some really bad people, that's not that hard. But dealing with taxation is something that politicians can control. If the state would allow the city to try these ideas for land taxes, and the city was willing to do it, like that can be done. Political difficulty may be hard, but at least it's just the signing of a piece of paper when it comes down to it. So that's what this piece is about. The city has many problems. Let's take on the earnings tax that can be addressed through legislation and laws if people are willing to do it.
Wow, you made me pivot like 4 times, 4 different things I was going to ask you about just from what you said, Dave. Okay, so let's take a lesson from Washington D.C. and President Trump and what he did there, because everything's down there. Statistics are down, but it's more of perception is reality. Okay, when they saw the people from the National Guard out there and knew that walking down the street, you probably were going to see somebody up there that could help you. then they started walking on the streets. I say let's have our mayor. Our mayor should just say, "Hey, federal government, we need help." Just go there first. Then have people walking around all over downtown St. Louis. I don't care how long it takes, because I guarantee you, I've got a nephew who's a cop. Okay, Dave, and they're overwhelmed, and they have this pile of uniforms from people who've left that the police force in the city, and they have a name for it. I don't remember the name, but I probably couldn't repeat it on the show anyway.
Yeah.
But the bottom line here is that yes, they need a lot of police officers, but they need help now. That's the main thing. And I know we can talk about taxes and all that, but it all starts with crime, and that's the way it is.
I agree.
And there are things that can be done. Like for years and years, the highway patrol wasn't allowed to patrol the highways in the city of St. Louis. I think they've temporarily allowed some of that, but it's not enough. Like why isn't the highway patrol taking over substantial more patrol along 55, 64, 44, and 70 in the city of St. Louis? That would be a wonderful way to add a few more cops into the system every day. Have highway patrolmen on those highways, and I personally, as somebody who we're not, look, the Show Me Institute is located in the city of St. Louis. We're not temporarily, because of the tornado, we're temporarily out in West County, but we're returning to the city in a few months here. So speaking as somebody there, would I like to see state, the National Guard or whatever, patrolling parts of the city of St. Louis while I'm driving and walking around? Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm speaking more than anything here just as a person who works in the city and frequents the city. I go into games and everything all the time. I got 2 kids who go to school in the city. So yes, I would love to see that. And perception is so important, because the stats are still bad. I don't want to get this idea out there that crime is way down and people shouldn't really be concerned. That's way overstated. Crime is still terrible in the city of St. Louis. It is down somewhat, and that's wonderful, but it's still bad. And yeah, crime is the most important thing. But part of it is you just can't find police officers willing to do the job of the city at any pay. And until you get, I like the new mayor, but until you get a new political environment, and that takes a lot of time, you're going to have, I think, far too few people willing to be a police officer in the city.
All right, so with the crime, we're talking to David Stokes, of course, our great friend and the heavyweight champion of municipal policy. The way the city looks, right? You know what neighborhood you're driving into depending upon how the buildings look, right? Where that tornado hit, my God, it's like desolate. I think that, here's an analogy. You got a closet in your house, right? I got to clean that closet. Nah, I'll do it next week. Meanwhile, you throw more stuff in there, and then by the time you do it, you open the closet, and it's Professor Whoopi's closet. Everything comes flying out, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes a harder mess to fix. So crime is one thing, and then I guess infrastructure has to be another thing if you want anybody to work or live in the city.
Well, that's where the tax system comes into play,
Yeah.
Vic, because you want something that funds the infrastructure that you need, to whether it's tearing down vacant buildings or improving the infrastructure that you have. To have a tax system that repels people, to have a tax system based on income taxes, the city earnings and payroll taxes, that keeps businesses and people out of the city, that makes funding those needs even harder. And so that's where what we're talking about is that getting rid of that earnings tax, which does drive people and businesses out of the city. It absolutely does. And replacing it with, we think, a tax system that will encourage people to come and incentivize them to build and develop in the city through some type of more reliance on land taxation, which, again, we describe more in the op-ed. That's the type of thing that will help build that infrastructure, because it incentivizes people to invest in the city and not be hammered with new higher taxes because they expanded onto their house or rebuilt their office building. So I think your points about infrastructure and the look are entirely true. And there's the city water system is in bad shape, all sorts of things. But the tax system comes into play in how you incentivize people to invest in the city and fix that.
Yeah. And, taxes are never the answer. I just want to say one more thing, Dave. If you disagree, tell me. You know, the attendance at Cardinal games last season was like the worst I've seen since I've lived here. And people are like, well, it's because the Cardinals suck. And I'm like, no, the Cardinals have sucked many years.
I remember the 90s.
And it was still 3 million through
3.3, yeah.
Right, every year. So it's got to be something more than just the Cardinals suck.
Well, I don't know. What is the problem is it's hard to, you can't compare it to the Blues attendance per se, because the Blues are also terrible this year. I know this, that Billiken games are full right now. I mean, everybody's willing to go down. There are 10,000 people to the Billiken games because they're great. And I think people feel safe going to St. Louis University at night. So I think it's like the crowd is the safety. Like that's just it. People feel safer in a crowd of people. So if the team is good and people want to go to the games, and all of a sudden 30,000 people are there instead of 10, everybody feels safer because you got so many people around. And that's the big problem with downtown St. Louis, is that, and it's been this way for a long time, nobody wants to admit it, but other than sports games, you know, you can walk through downtown St. Louis and it's empty.
Exactly.
And it truly is. So even so you feel more dangerous than it is because there's nobody there. And then having a bad sports team just builds on itself, because then some people who aren't worried about crime, they don't go down to the Cardinals game or the Blues game because the team's so bad. And then it's even emptier. So then people feel even less safe. So what we really need is for the Cardinals to get much better, and that will make St. Louis City a utopia. We can all agree on that.
I think we're a couple of years from utopia, but we'll see if we get there.
I think we are very far from the Cardinals being back to being a good team.
One last thing.
But at least they're doing what they have to do.
Because if you notice, right, the crime is now just not North St. Louis, right? There's murders in South St. Louis now all the time. You know, the crime is moving.
And St. Louis County. I mean, St. Louis.
And St. Louis County.
St. Louis County. Absolutely. I mean, let's not make this only a city thing. I mean, crime is significantly larger in St. Louis County than it was 20 years or so ago.
You're absolutely
right.
Right.
It's not just a city problem.
All right, David Stokes. He is the heavyweight champion of municipal policy. David Stokes! Thanks, champ. We'll talk to you next week.
Vic. Thank you, Ken. Have a great weekend, guys.
Have a good weekend, Dave.
I don't like going downtown. I don't like going to the city.
Well, I think my point was just going to be simply, you've referred to this at the very beginning of this talk with Dave. We keep doing the same thing over and over, and with the same result. Maybe have the Republicans come in. I'm talking about the whole slate of people who are leadership in the city of St. Louis. Just try it, St. Louis. Try it. Maybe you'll get a great result from it.
And, you know, learning by your mistakes is okay. It's great. But when you learn by other people's mistakes, it's less painful, right? So let's not forget Kimberly Klesick, who we had on when she was running for office in Baltimore.
Right.
And she told us that she was talking to a black woman in Baltimore. And the lady ended up telling her, "You're the first Republican that's ever talked to me."
Yeah.
Well, whose fault is that then? That's our own fault.
And now's an opportunity. Right now is an opportunity, Vic, because so many people are turning like minorities, like for example the black population. They're saying, wait a minute, we've been duped for all this time.
Right.
We're going to vote Republican. Do it now.
And that's Bullworth. That's that lady in the black church in Bullworth. When she said, "When are you going to come to our town and fix our churches?" Like you said, "Well, we just told you what you wanted to hear, and then we went back to Washington and we didn't think about you again." Right. That's pretty close to the truth.
Pretty much.
All right. The commander's sitting, waiting patiently to speak to us, and he's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. Vic and Ken. Vic can make oleo. Ken can't pronounce oleo. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Yes, I just want you to know what a breath of fresh air you people are.
101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros and Exteriors, your all-in-one service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. Christine and I discovered Gutter Pros and Exteriors when we bought our home and inherited a gutter problem. And they've also repaired siding damage on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros team are also the best for repairing other exterior damage, including fascia, soffit, and all siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros and Exteriors can help your home or business right now at gutterpros.com.
When water troubles strike, call the family you can trust. Tim Jones here for Ambassador Plumbing, serving our community since 2018 with 25 years of master plumbing expertise from Tim Morris and his hand-picked team. Whether it's a simple faucet repair or a complete bathroom remodel, if water runs to it or through it, they do it. From residential service calls to commercial to new construction, the folks at Ambassador are your neighbors treating you like family. Ambassador Plumbing, where faith meets craftsmanship. 636-383-6932 or ambassadorplumbing.com. That's ambassadorplumbing.com.
Craving seafood but worried it'll be too spicy or break the bank? La Juicy Seafood in O'Fallon has you covered. They're not your typical seafood joint. Choose from 5 spice levels, including not spicy, so everyone can enjoy our famous Cajun boils. Bring the family, doodle on the tables, enjoy the full bar with legendary margaritas, and feel right at home. La Juicy Seafood, 373 Winding Woods Drive, O'Fallon. Call 696-924-9171.
Whether at home or at work, you're mobile. So when you're mobile, stay mobile. Keep St. Louis's home for conservative talk with you wherever you go. Download the NewstalkSTL app in the App Store or at NewstalkSTL.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking, like the Doodah Man together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
In my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. I called her Mamaw. She loved the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. She was a woman of very deep Christian faith. But she also loved the F word.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ken, if I'd only known you're going to play the Grateful Dead, I would have got stoned before I came to this.
I know. I want to dedicate this song to my wife because she was well, maybe, but she's working today. But she actually was a weekend deadhead.
What's wrong with that?
That just means you go see the Dead when they're in town, and then you go to see Jake's Leg over at North 40 on
Jake's
Thursday nights.
And they've been doing it for 40 years.
They've been doing it forever, yes.
All right, it is a Friday. It is time to talk to the commander.
St. Louis. It's Commander Connor's neighborhood.
Good morning, Commander Connors.
Good morning, gentlemen. God bless.
Don't
Good
forget
morning.
to turn
God bless you.
clocks ahead 1 hour tonight.
Yeah.
And what you know what's going to happen? I am going to be, for the first time since we changed the clock, I'm going to be on correct time. I never bothered changing my clock.
Really?
If the digital's changed, fine. I didn't change my watch. I didn't change the thing in the car.
You cracked me up.
I think I'm
Is that a statement you're making?
I had to kind of make it clear that where I am, what hour I am.
That may be a better plan because
and I want to mess with it.
Half the clocks in my house are 1 hour and the other one's the other. What time is it?
And Canada's going to not do it after
Well,
this.
when are we going to not do it anymore?
I don't know. That's pretty
Well,
good
we shouldn't be
question.
following
we should
Canada
do it.
with anything.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Canada sucks.
No, I get it, but I don't want. I hate changing the clocks. You like changing?
No,
that's
no,
right. No, you do hate. You like changing.
I like
clocks.
it. Yeah, I do.
Well, part of
He's out
Indiana
of the
was around
conversation.
French Lick, Indiana. I don't think they changed.
No, they don't.
They stay
fast
one
time, slow time,
I
fast
think
time.
parts of Arizona the same thing.
Well, when you're heading up that way to Michigan, when you do vacations up that way, you have to pay attention to that too because Indiana's a little different.
All right, Larry. So, things change, and Kristi Noem not fired. She's been taken out of her position as director of the Homeland
She's removed from the
Security,
cabinet,
and she'll have a different job somewhere in the government. So, I guess the money that she spent, I think the real reason, guys, is her performance at that hearing when she was testifying at that hearing, because she did close the border. She was no nonsense there, right? The spots that she made, commercials that she made about self-deportation worked,
right?
And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Mark Wayne Mullen will be a great DHS secretary.
Well, I believe he will too. And she's been given the position of the head of the Department of government shield or something like that.
The special envoy to the shield of the Americas. Of the Americas, and that's a big delineation here.
It is. It's still not a cabinet position, which you remember I have right here in my hot little hand somebody that should have gotten bumped long ago. You never heard the Democrats complain about. Remember Sam Britton?
Oh yeah.
The man who dressed as a woman all the time, Department of Energy, dealing with our nuclear material.
Yeah.
Walking around with lipstick and glad dresses.
Nope,
they didn't complain about getting rid of her, but they want to get rid of Noam because she's been effective. Made some noise. It's an optics issue, but I still hate to see the change.
I do too.
I don't want to see us bow to them, and we did.
And I think that, Alejandro Mayorkas held on to that job for 4 years.
Oh, God.
And he may have been the worst DHS secretary we ever had.
Absolutely. I mean, and between him and mealy-mouthed Merrick Garland, yeah, you're right.
Well, with all the different things that are happening in our hemisphere, I think it's time for President Trump to create this position. I think the shield of the Americas is a point.
I think it could be.
He's
already talking about we need
Greenland,
to change.
Venezuela, Central,
Cuba.
South,
He's
North
talking
America.
about
Cuba.
Exchange Cuba.
All these things are happening right now. And then you've also got Canada, who's trying to create new relationships with outsiders from our perspective.
Right.
So therefore, okay, well then we're gonna do the same thing basically.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. I really do.
And she'll be great at that as well. I mean, but they cried and yelled so much that they decided for optics will move her, just like they did the Border Patrol chief because of the shooting, of Renee Good.
That was Bovino. Is that what his name was? Something like that.
Yeah, Bovino.
Bovino.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's change at optics, try to distract. I get it.
Yeah.
I just wish, to me, it's another bowing down to them, and I just hate it.
I'm not saying this has anything to do with Kristi Noem's situation. This is just a generalization about Democrats. They hate beautiful women in places of power.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, no?
Britton looked good.
Oh, Sam Britton. I forgot all about him. He was gorgeous.
He was a disgusting piece of...
Hey, don't you cuss on this here radio. Who do you think you are?
I know.
Anybody's going to be me cuss on this here radio. So, Sam Britton's another great... Because here's the thing. And do you remember that Christmas video that they made?
Oh, yeah.
When they were, all the trans people were prancing down. It was a mockery. They made a mockery of the presidency and of the country. And Sam Britton was stealing people's luggage at the airport.
Yes,
yeah.
Never got charged. Oh, by the way, got charged. I had to update that. Ends up getting a plea deal and doesn't serve any time. Just you can keep the luggage and the clothing, I guess, and go home.
But do you guys agree that Democrats hate beautiful women?
I agree.
They don't
with
have
that.
any. They don't have any.
Well,
right.
and intelligent women.
Of
Period.
Course. Right.
Yeah.
But on the surface, that's just because she's pretty. That's why she got.
Oh yeah, and I agree with both of you that I don't want to see them pivot because of the Democrat Party, and I'm gonna say that I'm not even convinced that that's what happened. I don't. I know that President Trump did not like the money she spent on those ads.
Right.
And he did not like the performance that she gave at the hearing.
Yeah.
That's fine. Have that conversation. But you got Hakeem Jeffries saying, well, she was fired.
Yeah.
And so we're going to, you know what? Now that we got her fired, which is what he said,
yeah.
Now we're going to do this.
That's what they're thinking. Yeah.
And I will tell Hakeem Jeffries, if he was standing in this damn room right now, no, she didn't get fired. She was actually put into a better position. I believe that we're going to hear a lot from the shield of the Americas.
I hope we do. Because I think she's a strong leader. She's got background. Remember, she was a Democrat. She's also strong military.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah.
Can we play number 20?
Yeah.
Because he has to be confirmed, of course. We'll have confirmation hearings. But Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullen has been named to replace her as Secretary of Homeland Security. And here he's talking about President Trump and the whole Iran thing.
Since 1979, the Ayatollah had talked about becoming a nuclear nation. Since November of 1979, they've been attacking the United States directly or through their proxies all the way up until June of 2025. And so they were never going to stop with this fetish or this dream that they had of becoming the utopia for the Muslim powerhouse. The truth is the only way this was going to change, the Ayatollah had to be removed. Now, the president President Trump tried multiple times to let diplomacy work. He made it very clear during the 12-day war that we know where you're at. If we wanted to take you out, we would. Just don't rebuild your nuclear sites. All they had to do is not build it. But he couldn't help himself. He was getting later in age, and this is something he said he was going to do. And so he pushed forward, and the president doesn't bluff. You and I know the president well. He's not going to bluff. He may not do it exactly when you think he's going to do it. He'll do it on his time. But if he says he's going to do something, he will follow through with it, and he's proven it time and time again.
He doesn't bluff.
No, I agree with that. And now his son might be, I tell you, son might be appointed. And he is a hard liner, they say.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking, he's thinking, you don't want to be the next guy in the line.
You know, there's a lot to that because President Trump was asked about that, about negotiating now, because apparently Iran wants to negotiate again.
Yeah, he said.
And President Trump, those days are gone.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wants any of them in any power position at all ever again.
I don't think that guy wants to have any meetings.
No, I
That's
don't
for
think.
darn sure.
And
let's do it over Zoom, so they don't know where I am.
Oh, that was the most idiotic thing they did on a Sabbath, and on they thought they won't. Israel and U.S. will not hit us on a Saturday morning while we all meet.
It's 4D chess.
Idiots.
It's 4D chess.
Love it.
Larry Connors, USA,
Thanks,
tonight,
guys.
6 to 8. What's coming up on the big story behind the story?
This is one I think you guys can relate. Do you remember your first prom dance? And do you remember that you didn't know how to dance? You're thinking, how do I learn how to dance? Who did you learn to dance with?
Gina Rosamilia.
No.
Was my prom date.
But who did you learn to dance with?
That's a good question.
Before you went.
I didn't. I just winged it.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. That you probably did. My mama.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my mother taught me how to
but I'd
boogie
take my
dance
shoes off.
to
she taught you how to break dance?
No. No.
Yeah, you know what?
What I'm saying is to In the Mood, Glenn Miller, we used to do how they danced back then, but I couldn't do that at the prom.
Right, my mom would be in the kitchen while we were listening to music, and I would watch her dance.
Right.
She didn't really here, let me show you.
Yeah.
But I'd watch her, and I'm sure it influenced me.
Right.
I do the Elaine now.
Yeah,
because of it. But
well, it was Marty Robbins' white sport coat with a pink carnation.
Oh, my God.
That's the one that kicked it off for us.
And that's tonight?
That's tonight.
All right, 6
We'll
to
have
8
some
o'clock.
fun tonight.
All right. And commentary, 12:03, 3:30.
That's it for. We've already got the 7:30 done.
All right.
Until Monday.
Larry, thank you.
God bless.
Commander Connor's Neighborhood.
So the St. Charles County Republican Central Committee is having a great night of speeches, food, and fun, all to support the Republican Party in St. Charles County. It's Friday, March 20th at the Old Hickory Golf Club. I think I know somebody or know of somebody that's from Old Hickory.
I am from Old Hickory, Tennessee. And look how far we made it. Our zip code is 37138, and how I was told to remember it was 37 plus 1 equals 38. I've never forgot it, and I don't think you will either. Old Hickory is also named after President Andrew Jackson. And I told someone that in an interview, and I'd said it, I'm like used to saying it, so I said it, and the guy stopped me, and he was like, you know what, he's like, Andrew Jackson was a bad guy. And I was like, oh, we didn't like know him or anything like that.
Nate Bargatze from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Be sure you join the party on the 20th. Reception for VIP reception, 5:30, dinner program, 6:30. Get more info at NewstalkSTL.com. And Mr. Kenner walked on it a little bit.
Keep trucking like the doodah man together. More or less in line, just keep trucking on.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
How dare you!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
We were talking about dancing in that break there.
Yeah.
And I think it was you that said, now you do the Elaine dance, right?
Yeah.
From Seinfeld. I bet Chris Cooper's ears perked up a little bit when he heard that, right?
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Big Seinfeld fan that he is. So Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management, I think as far as, you know, you hear, my whole life I've heard commercials for these places, and I've never heard any like Serenity Wealth Management. He just has a different plan, a different avenue to get you to just have a conversation. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. So if you go up and chat with him, have a seat on the couch, right? Enjoy what's on the TV. Got a fireplace there. Oh, drink. Yeah, I'll take a drink. Take a look at his big fancy radio studio. I don't know what he's trying to do there, trying to take over with his radio studio.
It's nice, though.
No.
It's really nice.
No. And his radio show is 9 o'clock Sunday mornings right here on News Talk STL, and it's called Fun with Finance, isn't it?
No,
what?
That's what it features, Fun with Finance.
But it's called
Serenity Wealth Now.
Man, I am out of touch. He also has 2 books for you to get for free. One's called Tax-Free Strategy for Long-Term Care, the other, The New Holistic Retirement. And you can get them both at SerenityNowTax.com. SerenityNowTax.com. Serenity Now! It's Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now! Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
House GOP leaders have asked Representative Tony Gonzalez to drop his re-election bid after he admitted having an affair with a staffer. We'll ask Congressman Under about that at 4:20.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Craving the freshest in town? Anthony's Produce is your daily destination for nature's finest. For 28 years, we've been your trusted supplier for everything seasonal. It's homegrown apple season. Choose from many local varieties. Grab some caramel dip or try our made-in-house gourmet caramel apples. Fall decorating? We've got Hardy Mums, corn stalks, straw bales, pumpkins, gourds, Indian corn, and jumbo specialty pumpkins. Perfect for carving or pies. Plus seasoned firewood available for pickup or delivery. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6:30, and Sundays, 8 to 5. On Jungerman Road or at anthonysproduce.com.
If you love your pet, which I know you do, then they deserve the excellent treatment and care they'll receive at Pacific Animal Hospital in Pacific, Missouri, a full-service veterinarian facility. Originally built and grown by my dad, Dr. Bill Jones, a new generation of wonderful veterinarians and staff at Pacific continue to provide outstanding medical, surgical, dental, boarding, and grooming services for your favorite furry friends. Our family entrusts the care of our pets only to the experienced docs and staff at Pacific Animal Hospital. You should too. Call them today, 636-257-2100, 24/7 at PacificVets.com, PacificVets.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I have a theory. People talk loud when they want to act smart, right? Correct!
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Republicans love Donald Trump more than any president's own party supporters loved him at this particular point. Just take a look here. Okay, own party supporters, 21st century presidents, own party approval, about at this point in the second term. Bush was at 77%. Obama was at 77%. Look at this. 86% of Republicans approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing at this point. That is higher than either Obama or Bush had within their own party at this point. Trump's magic touch has not seemed to wear off yet when it comes to the Republican base.
And what kind of approval are we talking about here?
Okay, so we're talking about overall approval here. How about the strongly approved, not just like, but love. Okay, we're going to look at these same presidents again. Strong approval among your own party's base. What you see here is Trump is the only one who gets a majority at this point in their presidency. Obama was at 48%. Bush was at 47%. You see here Trump at 53%. Not as high as overall approval rating, but still getting a majority of the Republican base, at least in the average of polls, to say that they still really, really, really like him.
Okay. So that's Harry Ensign, who he needs to slow down just a little bit when he talks. He talks really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And because I want these points to be really nailed down. Because who is the host who said, no, what kind of approval?
Oh, I never know, but they're usually standing right next to him. I don't know.
So those numbers are huge, like they should be. If you're a Republican president, then your approval among Republicans should be huge, right?
Well, yes, but at the same time with the other presidents, their base wasn't as enthusiastic about them as they are President Trump.
That's what the whole story's about.
Yeah.
But the point is, so many of his base love him, and the Democrats hate him. really says something, because it doesn't matter what Robert De Niro thinks or anybody else
It
thinks.
really doesn't, Vic. And again, I'll go back to them being a minority. They're a small, a very vocal, very loud, small opposition to President Trump. But then people hear that, and a few of their people get on social media. They have the mainstream media, the dinosaur media in their pocket, and they make all this noise. And then other people that are like, well, I don't know, man. I feel like that he's not getting the support that he needs. No, listen, if you're MAGA, if you're supporting Trump, and if you voted for this, as they always say, hold steady, because everybody's feeling the same way you are. MAGA does not go away when things happen. You know, right now, especially right now with everything that's happening that's not positive for this country that he's trying to do.
Yeah.
This is when he needs us behind him. And this is the way it should be.
That's how it should be. And if you do a poll like this, right? And by the way, George Bush's numbers were big back then because it was just past 9/11.
Right.
You know, when he could have thrown a brick through your window and you'd still vote for him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Barack Obama was all just false idolization of him by the media.
They idolized the perfect word, because the media idolized him, and all these low information people, and I'm talking about primarily Democrats, that all they did was listen to them.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh well, yeah, he's such an amazing figure. I guess I should make him an amazing figure too."
And Donald Trump has just taken blows back, every day from
Yeah.
the left. And there seems like there's more people against him, because what you talk about, a loud, small minority of people hate him. But the big base, the Republicans, the people that put him into power with all the votes he got in the 2024 election, are the real indicator.
Well, sure, and we're always there, Vic. This is the thing about MAGA, conservatives, anyone center right, okay? We work for a living. We do our daily jobs. We don't focus on these things. We don't go out and protest at every drop of the hat.
Yeah.
Because we have other things going in our lives. Just because we're not showing up and doing protests every time someone on the left opens their big mouths, it doesn't mean we're not supporting Trump. But you're completely supporting him.
Right.
We're just living.
I'll never understand it. I'll never understand the hatred for him, and especially when everybody loved him before he was president. Everybody loved him. What's the matter? Temperature going up?
Because you triggered me to look at something. I had something based around what you just said.
But it's true, right?
It's absolutely true, and I don't remember where it was. But yeah, if you look on social media, people make some amazing points about how much he was beloved before he became a Republican. Before he went down that escalator, he was loved. We're not talking about just simple, yeah, it'd be maybe a good idea that Donald Trump run. No, Oprah said, you need to run. We love you. You need to. He was in cameos in movies. The Celebrity Apprentice, the Apprentice, that was like top number one for so many years.
It. Oh my God, we loved it.
They loved Vic. They loved him. All the celebrities that would participate in that loved him. Okay, but then he became a Republican, and guess what? At that second, he became a racist. How? He chose not to run because Jesse Jackson said he had thoughts of running for president until Jesse Jackson, his friend, said he was running. And Donald Trump said, I'm bowing out because you're going to run and I'll support you. I'll even financially support you.
Wow.
This really happened.
I know.
Look it up. I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke here.
I'm not looking it up. You look it up.
Right. Well, I did.
Well, you did look it up. All right.
But see, how big of a deal is that?
No,
where
it's
he's
huge,
willing to step aside so Jesse Jackson can get in the limelight and run as a Democrat.
And by the way, he was on Saturday Night Live all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
He did this one sketch, was so funny. He needed a car, and some lady was standing there and goes, is this your car? I need it. I'll buy it. And this is money. Because my son's in the back seat. That's fine. How much is he?
Right.
It really was. It was a funny sketch. And he did the chicken commercial thing. And, he was funny. They loved him. And now, oh, wait, you're a Republican? I'm sorry. No, you can't be on the show anymore. And we're going to make fun of you every single Saturday night.
Exactly right. And this is the amazing part of it. It was so, I can't remember what I was going to say about it because it was in addition to the Jesse Jackson thing. The fact is, how can you be a racist suddenly? It wasn't like they said, well, this action that he performed makes him a racist. Now we can't love him anymore. No, all he did was come down the escalator and say, I'm a Republican now. That's all he did.
And have you noticed that any black person, especially lately, very recently, any black person that comes out in support of him, all of a sudden their credibility isn't there anymore because he likes Trump. Sorry, I did not. I swear to God, I don't drink.
And that's racist. That's simply racist.
Mike Tyson now is because he likes Trump and he likes RFK and he made the Super Bowl Eat Healthy commercial and all that.
Yeah.
So now he's a dick. Everybody hates him.
Oh yeah.
It's so stupid. The Democrats are just so stupid.
But see, let's look at this though, Vic. Being on the offensive. If we're truly on the offensive, you don't accept that.
Right.
You say to them, you go out. If you hear someone saying that, you hit just what the things that the points that I made just now. You take those points and you say, well, here the big racist did this X Y Z, and then they go, oh, he did not. No, well, okay, Google it. How about that? And then they do, and you've got to work with that. You've got to be on the offensive. You can't just say, well, I guess I better shut up now. I guess I can't wear that MAGA hat anymore or that Trump shirt. I can't wear it because, well, if I do, then they're going to say things about me. Well, I don't care.
Now, that's a whole nother thing. If you have a red hat on with white letters, if it said maybe admirals are geriatrics again, people wouldn't let you come and sit inside because they think it would say "Make America Great Again," which somehow is a symbol of racism.
Again, you've got to fight that. I believe you need to fight
I
that,
know.
and to the point to where you get it on record with the police officer.
Why didn't we? You know, remember those "I'm with Biden"? Remember "I'm with her"? Remember all the "I'm with her" shirts? And everything with Hillary. We didn't say, hey, we're not going to serve you because you have that shirt on about Hillary. We just served them. In our heads, we're like, okay, she's an idiot. You know, where's the
exactly?
Yeah.
In our heads, Vic.
Right.
We say, oh, she's a moron. But whatever. Go ahead, live your life.
They don't have room in their head anymore for any more.
Why are they supporting an invader, a guy, an Islamic Republic guy from Iran, who is the worst person for women in the history of the world? I mean, he allows women to be killed en masse because they don't dress the way they're supposed to. And where are the women who would fight against that?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the feminists, Vic? They're not. They're nowhere.
Where's National Organization for Women?
Where are they?
Right. You know, you led us right into number 9 there, Ken. This is Tom Lamas, Bad Lama, talking about the Iranian foreign minister. Now, he's not Baghdad Bob. He's Tehran Tom or something like that.
It has to be.
Everything's fine.
President Trump has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
Ah.
You are waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
So you're saying that Iran is ready and willing to take on the U.S. military if there were to be ground troops?
Well, we were ready for this war even more than the previous war.
Huh. Got it.
Can you believe that?
So I just want to make sure I got all this right. So they're waiting for us. I think that's what he said, right?
No, we are waiting for them.
Yeah, waiting for them. And guess what? I don't know when Bad Mama did that interview with Abbas Aragachi. Is that his name? Abbas Aragachi?
I think so.
Because now guess what? It's not our boots on the ground, is it? It's the Kurds. And their boots on the ground. And they're ready to invade. Are they ready for the Kurds invading with boots on the ground?
I don't know, but the Kurds, man, they're ruthless. They really are.
And they're coming in, man.
Yeah.
They didn't get dressed up for Halloween.
Well, here's the problem that I have with everything he just said.
Bad Llama.
And I agree with that. But I'm talking about the guy,
yeah.
the prime minister. When he said that, I thought to myself, okay, so you've been waiting on the ground. What about your Navy that's under the ocean?
Yeah.
What about your air support that you were supposed to have?
Shot out of the sky.
Were they waiting, or what were they doing now? Because you're waiting now.
He's the foreign minister.
The foreign. Okay, I'm
prime
sorry.
minister,
Foreign.
because that's a different job, right? He's a foreign minister. Foreign minister is like our Secretary of State, same kind of position.
Yeah.
And he's ready. He's ready for a U.S. ground invasion. That's great because they'll all be standing there facing in this direction, waiting for the Americans to come, and then all of a sudden the Kurds are going to tap them on the shoulder from the other direction and say, "Hey, guess what? Surprise!"
Right.
No, we are waiting for them.
Bad llama.
Bad llama. This, I think, even after all the years have passed, Ken, is a thank you to the United States from the Kurds for stopping Iraq from moving into Kuwait. I really do. It took all these years, but we got them.
Now, see, you lived it. We lived it. The ground war. I was in a band. We wrote a song for it. It was played on KAISER. The ground war. Desert Dog. It only lasted 100 days, but
I think you're cool, right?
100 hours maybe. I don't remember.
No,
But
that's cool.
no, but the point is, Vic, is that when they had this Republican Guard, they were supposed to be the elites of any Middle Eastern army, and then when the Americans went in there, they were actually holding out their weapons, dropping them, and then saying, "Here, arrest me."
Ken, when that ground war started, I was on the air somewhere in between 6 and 10 p.m., probably more like after 9 p.m., and we had the feed, the audio feed, the national news feed. I could just push the Q button and hear what was going on.
Yeah.
When the ground war started, and they were talking about these, I think it was the Apache helicopters.
Okay.
And it's like, these just rip people apart, rip their arms and their heads off. And I was like, oh, my God. I was really getting scared because I'm all alone in this radio station in Philadelphia, And I'll never forget that when the ground war started, there I was. And when Tom Fogarty died, too, from CCR, for some reason, I was on the air when that happened, too. I don't know. It's weird. All right. We got a big old Friday. Wait, it's Friday?
It is Friday.
It better be Friday.
It is.
I'm not coming in tomorrow. Bad llama. Susie Moore is up next from Red State. What are you watching? Are you watching anything? Because I'm watching something now. I want to contribute. I want to contribute to what are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching stuff.
Okay.
A few things. Yeah.
Kaiser gets in. Miller time, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been kind of quiet lately, and we've been leaving him out of the proceedings.
Well, they had a lid on him, I think.
Why?
I don't know. I couldn't
He's
get any
the
audio.
last guy you want to have a
I
lid on.
know.
All right. Big old Friday show. Stick around. We'll hear some news, and then we're back.
It's Friday!
It's Friday! The 1019 94.1 News Talk, STL #1 for live and local conservative talk. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
I knew it.
I've got Dr. Michael Lewis here, West Point graduate, physician, and retired Army colonel. Is considered the world's leading expert on the use of omega-3s for traumatic brain injury and concussions. Stuart Tomp brings over 30 years of experience in the supplement industry, brought $1 billion of products to the market, and has appeared in over 6,000 media interviews worldwide, and travels internationally and teaches on health.
Stuart Tomp here, and I've come across the biggest breakthrough in personalized nutrition I've seen in 25 years.
Dr. Lewis here. For the first time, we can measure cellular and gut health. So you can start testing and stop guessing and make decisions based on real data. I'm working with world-class scientists and physicians, and what they're doing is changing everything.
You can message me at elizabeth@statmedicalllc.com. That is elizabeth@statmedicalllc.com.
Ever feel like just a number in a waiting room? Hi, I'm Shannon Tribune, Director of Operations with Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Navigating the medical system can be a maze of stress. I'm your personal guide at Body of Health. I handle the messy parts of medical care, the logistics and complex coordination, both in and outside our walls, so you and Dr. Tobler, that's my dad, can focus on what matters most, your health. At Body of Health, you're not just a patient, you're part of the family, because that's healthcare the way it ought to be. To learn more, schedule a discovery call at bodyofhealth.com.
A celebration 100 years in the making. The National Route 66 Centennial Kickoff Celebration, presented by Vital Farms. Thursday, April 30th through Sunday, May 3rd in Springfield. The celebration kicks off with musical guests featuring Little Big Town, Chris Jansen, Gary LaVox, Gretchen Wilson, the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, and the Haygoods. Events continue through the weekend. You are invited to celebrate Route 66 with us April 30th. Tickets and information on Route66Kickoff.com. Brought to you by the Missouri Route 66 Centennial Commission.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says nothing short of unconditional surrender by Iran is acceptable to the U.S. The declaration comes as American and Israeli forces show no mercy to Iran's military-backed dictatorship.
Israeli airstrikes are pounding the capitals of Iran and Lebanon as the U.S. apparently struck an Iranian drone carrier at sea, intensifying its campaign targeting the Islamic Republic's warships. Iran launched new retaliatory attacks early Friday against neighboring countries that host U.S. forces. There have been no immediate reports of casualties. Tehran has warned of the destruction of the Middle East's military and economic infrastructure, and the war has rattled financial markets. The latest strikes mark a full week of attacks affecting countries across the Middle East. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And some of the Americans trapped in the Mideast have managed to get back home, arriving at San Francisco International Airport. Kelly DeGarmo tells KGO News that her group had to try for multiple flights before finally getting one that wasn't canceled.
Getting stuck there. We had a flight on Sunday, canceled. Monday canceled. Tuesday canceled. And we have flights for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday still. So we have to cancel. Everybody was very, very kind. We were told that we were very safe. The hotels were kind.
She arrived home on a flight from Dubai. February's job cuts caught the experts off guard. The Labor Department says employers shed 92,000 employees last month. Economists had been predicting 50,000 jobs added. The February unemployment rate holding steady at approximately 4.4%. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are sharply lower in the wake of that jobs report, as well as the ongoing war in the Mideast. The Dow down 512 points. The Nasdaq is off 183. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction. And standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss, so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
Some spots of early morning fog lift quickly and make way for a warm and breezy afternoon. Boy, feeling like spring on this Friday. Partly sunny skies, a high of 78. Breezy south winds at 15 miles per hour, gusting at times up to 30. Then let's be on the lookout for rain and thunderstorms overnight, some of which could be strong to severe, gang. Midnight to 8 a.m. is the time to watch. Behind those storms, a nice weekend. Partly cloudy and breezy Saturday, an early high of 64. It's 68 and sunny on Sunday. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, you know, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, hour number 2 of our Friday extravaganza. I don't have a word that starts with F that's kind of like an extravaganza.
How about it's Friday?
It's Friday!
Good enough for me. I'm so excited that I can contribute to What Are You Watching today when Kathy KAISER comes in. It's Miller time at 10:41. Now, John Shively is going to be talking about the DOJ and the EPA. What was I watching? That it was an old EP. Oh! It was another. You know what? Let's get Susie into this, and then we'll talk to Susie about it too.
All right.
There was not a
Oh, Susie Q, baby, I love you. Susie Q.
I'm the boss. How about
I
that?
should have listened to Susie more from the beginning.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right about that.
Hi.
Friday festivities.
Festivities.
Oh, there you go.
Because you got to have a
No,
word.
it's she's the word person.
She is the word person. Deputy Managing Editor of RedState.com, Susie Moore. So what were we talking about that we're going to talk about with her?
DOJ, EPA.
Yeah.
What were you watching?
Oh, yeah.
Watching?
So there was this is the second time I've seen 20 years ago or more congressional hearing, and the person who's asking the question says, how much CO2 is in the atmosphere? Do you know? And this one lady was like, I have no idea. And he's like, all right, so you're the head of the EPA. You didn't have that information coming in here? And then there was another one where they asked the same question, and they were playing the Price is Right, who could get it without going over. One person said 5%, one person said 6%, and the actual number is 0.02% of the atmosphere is CO2. That guy said that's dangerously low levels. And if it gets much lower, plant life is going to start dying.
That's a problem.
And then guess what? We start dying if the plant life dies.
It all works together.
But this wasn't yesterday. Why haven't we? This is what Ken and I talk about being on the offensive. Why haven't the Republicans talked about this for the last 20 years since what's his name opened his mouth, Al Gore?
That's a fair question. Distracted by other things. I mean, that's the best I can come up with.
So they were distracted. I get you. They were distracted by other things. They didn't worry about it. And then all of a sudden you get some crazed woman named Jennifer Granholm, who is the energy secretary, who wants to mandate us getting electric vehicles. That's not what liberty is. That's not what freedom is, to mandate somebody's stove or car, right?
It's not.
So we should have spoken up, is my point. In the
Yeah,
last
I mean,
20
we
years.
were critical of Granholm for sure, and I'm glad to have Chris Wright in there. But still, I mean, yeah, there's lots of different angles that you could take in terms of poking holes in some of the narrative from the left.
Totally agree. All right, so Kristi Noem is out as DHS director, and he has to be confirmed yet. But Mark Wayne Mullen, I like Mark Wayne Mullen.
I do too.
I liked him ever since he wanted to have a fist fight with Sean O'Brien from the Teamsters right on the Senate floor, and Bernie had to break. Stop it! You're a U.S. Senator. You don't act like that. Stop doing that.
Well, that's a very good Bernie.
Thank you. But he wasn't going to back. And I don't know if Sean O'Brien knew at that time that Mark Wayne Mullen has got the martial arts experience and everything.
I don't think he wanted to find out either.
But that's a good point, because they all think they all act like tough guys, right?
Yeah.
Like Robert De Niro acts like the tough guys that he played in the movies, but he's really not a tough guy at all.
No, not so much.
Not at all. So, Kristi Noem, and this was supposedly the last straw, her performance testifying in front of a Senate committee. Do you think that was the final straw?
I don't know about the performance itself, but the issue with the $220 million ad campaign, I think, was a sticking point. I think that may have been, it could have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but I also don't think that, my instinct is that they kind of knew going into this that this was going to be a way to kind of
This was the end.
serve as an off
This was
ramp.
dead man walking.
I kind of feel like that. And here's I don't have any inside information. My sense of that is this. She sat through 2 days of congressional hearings being, chewed out pretty thoroughly, particularly by the Democrats, both before the Senate Judiciary Committee and then the next day by the House Judiciary Committee. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but my feeling is that if she didn't already know that this was coming, that she sat through that and then right on the heels of that got shown the door, I would expect a much more negative reaction from her as opposed to a sort of gracious, looking forward to the new opportunity. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Because if I were her and I just sat through 2 days of that BS and then turned around and had my boss basically throw me under the bus, I'd be like, oh, really? I might have some things to say.
And her answers were very, she was like, it was very effective. That ad campaign was very effective. We had a lot of people self-support and all that.
Yeah.
So maybe she could have been a little bit more fired, but it wouldn't have helped her anyway. I was going to say she'd be more fired. But
yeah, I think this was the convenient last straw, and I think this was probably in the works for a little while.
I think Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana was the final nail in the coffin, though, because he set her up.
And I don't
right?
think that was accidental.
I know, because explain what you wrote about being a lawyer and never asking a question you don't know the answer
Yeah,
to.
well, I mean, so of course, he has his sort of Southern charm, so that even when he's like sticking a knife in you, he's like doing it politely.
Now, this feels good, don't it? There's knife in your heart. I think it feels really
it feels
good.
bad, but it's good.
If you go back and listen to it, it's just like a 2 or 3 question exchange that's kind of been hitting the clips. And if you actually listen to that exchange, first of all, number 1 rule of cross-examination is don't ask a question that you don't already know the answer to. Because, you could be walking into a buzzsaw. You don't know what's the answer. You could be setting yourself up for a problem. So I think that Senator Kennedy, who's well-educated and well-trained as an attorney, knew very well what the answers were to the questions he was asking. And I think the fact that he was talking about how he and the president had a phone call after that, I don't know if they had a phone call before, but something tells me that he knew going in that he was the assassin.
Well, he alluded to that. He definitely alluded to that.
And what's funny about what you say, I thought immediately the Democrats don't know that rule.
Right. They just ask questions.
They always ask questions, and then they get their rear ends handed to them. And then they move on like, oh, well, I guess I didn't ask the right question.
Yeah, you're right. And some of them are trained lawyers, but they're not very good at it. But that is a very important decision. I just, when I listened to that exchange, I'm like, he knew the answers to the questions he was asking, and he was setting this up. And like I said, I don't know what conversations were held beforehand, but I just feel like this wasn't just organic.
Yeah. And at one point, Senator Kennedy asked her about the money, the $220 million, and she's always stated that the president approved the money, right? And it's hard to hear him say it because she's kind of talking and he's trying to talk over her, but he was kind of talking under her. He goes, "I'm not saying you're not telling the truth, but I don't think that's what the president said," or something like that.
Very politely saying,
exactly.
I think you're mistaken.
Right. He could have said, "You're full of crap."
Right.
You're full of crap, and the president did not approve it.
Or I think that's a lie. He did not say that. I think he's trying to help everybody save a little bit of face. But bottom line is, I think she was becoming a liability for the administration, for the president, and he's pretty firm on, that he's not going to be working with people that are going to be doing that.
Right. Anything else on this? You got anything else on this?
Well, just the fact that she was reassigned to becoming the special envoy to the Shield of the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's dismissing that as throwing her out into the wind. But I believe with everything that's going on right now, regionally, within our Americas, within the Western Hemisphere, I think that's going to be an important role.
I think it is going to be an important role. I don't think it's fair to say that that's a promotion, but I do think it definitely is. The whole thing that's being announced tomorrow, like keep an eye on what's going on tomorrow at Doral.
Yeah.
This is actually big. And it was set up yesterday by the conversations with, that you had Hegseth and Miller addressing the conference there at Sentinel in Florida also. And this is big. This is all kind of being, put together. But so that role is actually going to be an important role.
I guess my point is simply that this is very important to President Trump. He spent a lot of time on Venezuela, Cuba, Greenland, Central, South America, North America, Canada. I mean, he spent a lot of time and investment in this, so he wouldn't be handing it off to someone he didn't trust.
I completely agree with that. I'm not exactly sure what like the special envoy role is going to be versus some of the other roles.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably going to be maybe a little less high profile. So we're not going to have Kristi Noem in front of the camera.
I
as
agree
much.
with that totally. Yeah.
So, but I do think that I think the president likes Kristi Noem. I don't think he necessarily feels great about having to have her move on, but I think this is the right move for him in the administration.
And think about this, Vic. Think about this for a second. Kristi Noem, she has experience for state governance. I mean, she has her whole resume is based around what's going to have to happen with it.
She's got a good resume.
Yeah.
The personal stuff started to become a distraction from her actually doing, and she's done a good job in a lot of ways.
Is part of this conversation you guys are having, is it a promotion or a demotion? Did that come up in your conversation?
No, I think.
Good point, though, Vic. That's a great point.
Because you said it's not a promotion.
Well, because I think there were some people who were trying to spin it that way, maybe people. And
Who?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
I heard that there were people characterizing it as a promotion.
Yeah.
Okay, but all I've ever heard on social media and by the way, the Today Show today,
Right.
she's fired.
Right.
They fired her.
Fired her in disgrace.
Hakeem Jeffries
Stepped down in disgrace.
Hakeem Jeffries went one step further. He said, not only is she fired, we fired her. We got her fired, and now what we need is more. We need to do more than just getting her fired. So
Okay, let's change the topic here a little
right.
bit. Because something that makes me crazy, and, when you're a Republican in Congress or in the Senate, or if you're a Democrat in those positions, you're supposed to take the hard line, right? You're supposed to be on that Republican Party side. And John Fetterman has just been just a breath of fresh air to just say what he speaks and vote how he feels. And it all started with October 7th when everybody was bad-mouthing the motherland, right?
Right.
Israel. And then you got, on our side, Thomas Massey and Rand Paul, because these libertarians are pissing me off a little bit once in a while because they get a little bit too libertarian, like with the War Powers Act is why. Because I know I sound like a big Trump fan, okay, but he's the commander-in-chief, and he makes the decisions. And he did he or did he not go to the Gang of Eight before he started this whole?
He did.
So that's all he had to do, right?
Right. Oh yeah. No, I mean he's
But
within
that's
his
not what
legal
Massey
bounds.
and
That's not
Rand
what they're
Paul,
saying,
who
though.
are on our side, are not saying that.
So yeah, and it's kind of easy to lump them in together because particularly since they're both from Kentucky and they're kind of both taking that
I
line.
didn't even think about that.
But Rand Paul has consistently throughout his tenure in the Senate been the guy who's going to take that tack. And I don't agree with him on all things, but I actually respect it. I mean, he's always been that guy, particularly when you're talking about foreign engagement and war
Right.
type situations.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with him necessarily, but I also respect the fact that that's just been his line all along, always has been. Massey, I think, has been a little bit different. He seems to have kind of shifted. Not that he hasn't always had libertarian leanings, but it seems like some of his decisions have shifted, and his being buddy-buddy with Ro Khanna on a bunch of stuff has shifted since things have soured between him and Trump. And it does seem like it's a personal vendetta as opposed to a principled stand.
I remember along the way I had what I would call almost libertarian style leanings, but I did it passionately because I believed it. I believe some of these libertarians out there, they just say, oh, no, I'm going to go this way, only because it's the opposite of what a conservative might do or maybe what someone on the left might do, just for the purpose of being called that label of libertarian.
So rather than calling them libertarian, I would call them contrarian.
Oh, that is actually
like
a
that.
much better
But
description.
There's
of
political
a lot of
mileage
them.
to be get. I mean, there's a value to that in some respects. If you're trying to kind of make your own political mark, there's something to be said for going against the grain. So just like John McCain was the maverick, John Fetterman is going against the grain.
Yeah.
It's easier to admire that when you see that it's somebody who's just kind of sticking on what their principles are and not wavering depending on who
I like
the
that
president
part.
is.
I like that part.
versus someone who's going, well, I don't like that guy, so now my principles are over here. Well, I do like that guy, so now they're over here, and we see way too much of that.
No, I respect that part of it. I'm talking about the true. You can tell who they are too, and it's almost like you can see Massey that way, because Massey, I would say contrarian would be a great word for him, because he doesn't care what the topic is as long as it's not. I'm not going along with what they said.
Well, you'll notice there's Rand Paul and Donald Trump don't snipe at each other. I mean, he disagrees with the president and he votes against him, but you don't see like a big slap fight going on between Rand and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But you do see it going on between Massey and Trump. There's
Absolutely.
bad blood there.
Now the Pauls, Rand and
Ron.
Dad Ron, their big thing was they don't want us getting involved in other countries' wars, right? Because it's got nothing to do with us.
Right.
But I don't think this Iran thing fits into that puzzle.
I don't
think-
either.
I think it does.
You can
affect
totally
us.
disagree with his stance, but recognize that he's pretty much always taken that tack. Like, we don't want to be prosecuting foreign wars. We don't want to be going overseas. We don't want to be getting involved. I mean, I think it would be hard to argue that we didn't go on the offensive here for good reason, but it would be hard to say that we were responding right now just defensively.
You don't have to talk me and Ken into being on the offensive.
Right.
Not at all. And I think this is completely different, because if Kamala Harris was president right now, you'd have an Iran with a nuclear weapon.
And then what?
Yeah.
What if they have an intercontinental ballistic missile?
The goal of that, the guy's getting. Someone mentioned in one of our clips, he's getting older. That he was getting older. Not he's dead now. But I'm talking the leader. He's dead. He's dead now.
Jim.
He's dead now. But he was thinking, I need to bomb Israel. That's my goal. That has been my goal my whole life. So now that we've got the bomb, Kamala, they're stepping back. Boom. I guarantee you that would have probably happened, Kamala Harris as president.
Thankfully, we will never know.
Yeah, thankfully, we will never know.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can absolutely disagree with Rand's stance on this war or any, but my only point with him is that he's always consistently held that line, and he doesn't do it in a way that puts him and Donald Trump where they're locking horns and completely at odds.
The only thing I disagree with on that is that this is not a war. This is not even a war.
Well, that's my
Not a
point.
formally
Yeah.
declared one, no.
But it does affect us. Two countries warring on the other end of the world. Who cares? I agree. We should never get involved in that. But this, I think, directly affects us, and that's why I think he's wrong, even in his own libertarian.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. You can completely disagree with him and say he's wrong on this. I'm just saying he's never wavered on that. That didn't change based on who's in office.
And I think I agree with him to a point, but that's why I even brought up what I said.
Yeah.
Because this does directly affect us, and he can say what he's saying, and I guess my point is he can also agree with what we're talking about. He should be able to, because this is not the same thing about fighting a war that's not ours. This is our war.
And I'd like to ask him, when do you fight then? When do you fight? When do you take a stand? When do you get in there and fight? He'll say never.
Pearl Harbor.
He'll say never.
Pearl Harbor.
9/11?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've had enough of this.
The Chinese sleeper cells activating on our shores.
What about the Iranian sleeper cells in Columbia, Missouri, and Kansas City, Missouri? Ugh.
Don't yell at me.
I would like to yell at him sometimes. And Thomas Massey, too. What's coming up on Red State Radio Sunday at 4 o'clock?
She almost made me spit out my coffee.
This Sunday, we're talking to Jennifer Oliver O'Connell and to Bill Cruz, also known as Strife.
Okay, that is Sundays, 4 o'clock, Red State Radio.
It is.
With Susie Moore, Deputy Managing Editor of RedState.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, my God. Is this Argent? Hold your head up.
Yeah.
1974.
Thanks, Susie.
This is the only song you heard on the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey. Every
Really?
store played it all summer long. It was awesome.
It's pretty good.
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
Hey, we talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
That's next with Kathy KAISER on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. I love this song, Ken.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
My grandfather fitting from Scranton would really be proud of me right now. From Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa.
On the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Ken Williams nails it again. Whoa. I can't. You're going to have to get rid of this because I can't think about anything about this song while it's on. It's so good. Connor Roofing, so I want to talk about. So a couple things about Kathy Connor. Her and her husband have been doing this roofing thing for more than 30 years, and they're the best in the business. They will always give you an honest estimate. A company you can trust. I mean, isn't that half the battle right there?
Yes.
Quality work. Because you know, Goober could tell you need a roof, a whole new roof. And you'd be like, wait a minute. And then you go to Connor and say, no. Here's what you need. So when you pay them, you're paying an honest estimate. You're paying somebody who's being honest with you about the estimate, how much it's going to cost to fix your roof.
And I'm going through it right now with Connor Roofing, and I'll tell you, man, you got to trust them.
Yeah.
You got to trust what they're doing. They've been paying off for me and my family.
And now Kathy, just as a regular good-hearted person, she's always putting up dogs that are lost. Can you help find this dog? This shelter has this dog, And we had a funny moment with her when we were talking about that guy from Newsmax who is stationed in Tel Aviv, the best-looking guy they have on Newsmax, the most handsome guy on Newsmax. And I said, ladies, this is a public service. Go check him out. And she did, and she texted both of us and said, thanks.
Thanks, Vic.
Thanks, Vic.
With a picture of him.
So when you need a roof or you don't even know, just go to ConnerRoofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all. Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next-door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Why are you going to work? It's Sunday.
It's a brand new show on News Talk STL. JC's Sunday Showgram.
This week I'll be here to remind you forgot to set your clocks ahead. Plus, it's back to 1986 for Hands Across America, then back to 85 for something we did called Jamaica Tape for the Morning Zoo. And it's Jamie Allman's birthday. All brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
Sunday morning, 7 to 9. Then podcast each Monday on NewstalkSTL.com.
Hey, folks, Jamie Allman here for Newstedter's Fine Jewelry right there at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend. WowDiamonds.com. It's Wow Diamonds for a reason. These are beautiful lab-grown diamonds. They are gorgeous. They will blind you when you walk in and see them, but that's a good thing. Great engagement sets, wedding sets, all these beautiful God-created gems, sapphires, rubies, you name it, garnets, and also all the gold you need, and the famous Bull of a Watch. WowDiamonds.com.
News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion.
Don't always agree, but in love listening to your radio station.
This is tyrannical stuff they're doing.
Elections have consequences.
This is 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
The Somali walls. In Mogadishu, Minnesota, you might have heard there's quite a load of money missing, new millionaires, all the kids are leering in fake daycares. The Somali walls.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken.
Oh, what's wrong with you? It's either this show or indigestion. I hope it's indigestion. Why? It'll get better in a little while.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
You could be governor. And if you need a green card,
Okay. I'd love to listen to all we got. We had to get Kathy going here.
I know, man, but it's still
this
good.
segment
It's
goes
so
by
funny.
so fast. And you know what? You live, you lear. Right?
You do.
Exactly.
You live, you lear.
What are you watching? That's all I want to know.
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
Kathy Kaiser, Fox 2. Hi.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning.
I think the best movie of the year you're going to talk about today. That's what I think.
So far,
What do we got?
we have 4.5 out of 5 popcorns. Epic, Elvis Presley in concert.
Thank you very much.
3.5 out of 5 popcorns. The Bride, and Bridgerton. The end of season 4. TVMA, and that one's getting 4.5 out of 5 too.
Should have thrown the TVMA in there. It's not for the kids. Not for the kids.
Not
at
for
all.
the kids to watch.
All right. So Elvis Presley in concert, I think, is the best out of these three, in my humble opinion. Live concert footage, right?
Live concert footage of when he was in Las Vegas. And we don't go to when he maybe got a little heftier.
Hey, nothing wrong with heftier.
I know. No. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's about the fact the man loved to entertain, right? And when he started his stint in Las Vegas, how hard he worked behind the scenes to really entertain people when they came to see him.
And I like the idea that actually it was early on in his career in Vegas, and this is supposedly new footage.
Right, that we've never seen before.
Right.
Baz Luhrmann did it. He also did the Elvis movie that Austin Butler became Elvis and had trouble not being Elvis after he made that movie. Like, he struggled getting rid of the dialect and stuff that he taught himself, that he could come across as. So
Remember that Baz Luhrmann song that we would play on the river?
Yeah. That was the movie with Tom Hanks you're talking about, right?
Yes.
When he played Colonel Parker?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I never realized that Tom Parker had like a Dutch accent until I saw him. I don't know if it's Dutch, but I thought he would have been just a good old boy.
Right?
But he's not.
Mm-mm.
You know what were we saying? Oh, Baz Luhrmann. I don't remember the name of the song. Do you?
No.
Oh, well, anyway. Elvis is, it's him as him, right? Because when I was doing it on Fox 2 yesterday, Brittany Kyles is like, was that him when we were showing the trailer? And I'm like, yeah, it's all him. It's literally footage that they have never shown anywhere before that they had taken behind the scenes. They had a film crew filming him while he was in Vegas, and that is the movie.
Sunscreen. They used it for the graduations, remember?
It really wasn't a song, right? It was people talk through it. Or
right,
something.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember that. There was some crazy music back then.
I know.
So in the trailer, what they basically show you on TV in the commercials, the energy, right? All different costumes, all different color costumes. His arms are wailing. He was all about energy.
Absolutely. Now, my mother loved him, okay? I mean, she enjoyed it. My grandmother loved him, right? I can remember watching him on television when we were younger.
Yeah.
I also decided while I was watching the movie, I think that he's who gave me my love for jumpsuits. Because the man in his jumpsuits, I'm like, oh my God, I still love that, right?
Yeah.
Him and Joan Jett. Joan Jett in
Oh,
that
yeah.
red leather
Yeah.
jumpsuit she had. I tried to save forever, but I could never find it, right?
So, okay, you're creating a visual here, Kathy. So you wore jumpsuits like that?
I did not because I couldn't pull them off, but I do wear jumpsuits now, not leather, sorry.
Oh.
But I've always loved jumpsuits. And like I said, as I was watching a movie, I'm like, that's probably where it came from. That's why I love them.
Susie Quattro wore a lot of jumpsuits, too.
There you go.
And my mom loved Elvis. I remember as a kid, when he'd come on, you could tell, she just lit up.
Right? It's Elvis, right?
See, the deal with Elvis, when I was young, high school, and especially right after high school, my friends and I would always go down to Wildwood, New Jersey, and stay there for a week. And we would have a boom box with a cassette player that we'd bring to the beach. And every single year, we always had Elvis Presley's greatest hits, always, and people are like, yeah, Elvis is great. So anything else we need to know except go see it?
You have to go to the theaters and see it. You really do. I
Oh.
mean, this is not something you want to wait and watch when it's streaming. You really have to go to the theater to truly
agree with that.
experience, right?
There was a time back then, too, in the 70s and early 80s, when the movie theaters would show concert movies, Ladies and Gentlemen, the Rolling Stones from the 1972 tour, and then Song Remains the Same, Led Zeppelin from the 70s. And we would stay there all night, 6 hours, and, nothing but rock
Right.
and roll. I'm sorry, we spent way too much time on this. 4 out of
No,
5
it's
stars.
okay. 4.5 out of 5.
Love it, love it, love it. What did I say?
4.5 out of 5 popcorns,
4.5
right?
out of 5 popcorns.
Fantastic. All right, let's get through the rest of this crap, and then we'll
Oh,
talk about
no,
what
no.
we're watching. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, really quick. Maggie Gyllenhaal wrote and directed The Bride. That one's only getting 3.5 out of 5. But Jessie Buckley's in it. Christian Bale is in it.
Annette Bening.
It's set in the 1930s. Annette Bening is the doctor who's going to bring the bride to life because Frankenstein, Christian Bale, needs a love partner.
Are you kidding me? This is about Frankenstein?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
But
Yes.
he's the creator, but he's the doctor, right?
No. Annette Bening is the doctor.
Well, what role does he play in
Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
No. I was going to say.
The preview, it kind of gives the illusion that he's the doctor creating her as his wife.
Well, he wants her created, but he needs Annette Bening's help.
I got you.
Right?
Okay.
So I don't think the question has been answered. Who was the wife of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Annette Bening?
No. Jessie Buckley.
Okay.
And Jessie Buckley's up for an Academy Award
She's
next
good.
Sunday
She's actually
from
good.
Hamnet. And
And-
she will be walking home with that gold.
May I ask, who does Penelope Cruz play?
She plays the detective.
Oh!
Yes, Penelope Cruz plays the detective.
All right. 3
Right?
out of 5. 3.5 out of All right.
Yeah, and okay.
This is in
It's-
theaters?
It's in theaters. It's 1930s. The problem that I had throughout the film was she put too many ideas, and you'll know as you're watching the film in the theater, where she pulled stuff from for Frankenstein and Young Frankenstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? And The Original Bride in 1937. I mean, she put a whole bunch of ideas together. It was too disjointed for me. Totally. Right? And when you bring in the Me Too movement into a 1930s movie, I'm out.
I'm out now.
Right?
Not to mention then.
No,
All right,
I'm
now
just saying, I know that, and it felt really, without giving it all away, seriously, it felt really jokerish, too, because the women are feeling, by the way she's responding to everything around her, that they're going to be in a movement behind her.
And my only problem with her was they could have gotten rid of that black on her face. They could have.
Right.
They could just put makeup on it.
But it
they
was
didn't.
ink and it stayed.
But okay, they could have put makeup on it and got rid of it.
Right.
All right.
Anyway.
Now the sex show.
Bridgerton. 4.5
Bridgerton. Oh, you're
out of
going to
5.
love this. Yeah, this is something you're going to run home and watch on Netflix. I am sure, Vic.
Why?
No, I'm teasing.
Shoot 'em ups?
I'm teasing. No.
Shoot 'em ups.
No. It's the 4th season. It's fantastic. All the ladies love it, from all the pomp and circumstance and the beautiful dresses and, all the hoity-toity dudes that are walking around in their, coats and all that good stuff. And maybe there's a little skin involved, too, if you watch. It's why it's rated TVMA. And it's always, the love story ends with what else?
Is the skin?
A marriage.
Oh, a marriage, of course. Right.
Oh, it does?
Gotta
Oh,
be.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Gotta
All right,
be. Go
enough
ahead.
Of that. Enough of that.
Enough
Kent,
of that stuff.
We're
See, I
running out
knew
of
it.
time quickly here.
Okay.
What are you watching?
We're still in the middle of shrinking. I mean, it occupies my wife and my time. It's really, really good. And
I am so happy you got Apple TV. You have no idea.
Well, she got it for something else, and I'm like,
Okay.
hey, while you
While
got
we're
it,
here.
while you're paying for it, and Harrison Ford, I'm surprised on how well he's doing in a role like this.
It makes me so happy when people listen when I say this is something you have to invest your time and money in.
Oh, it's worth it.
What are you saying? I don't listen to you? Is that what
No,
you're saying? That's what
no,
you're saying? I
no,
think
no.
that's what
That
you're
is
saying.
not what I said. I just said that when our listeners listen to it, and even the guys that I'm lucky enough to be on air
Yeah,
with,
we love you. We
listen to me, that this is something you have to see, because I have not had one person that I have told you have to watch Shrinking on Apple TV tell me, oh my God, that was a terrible, right?
No, it's pretty awesome. I mean, we're kind of hooked. We have to tell ourselves, okay, enough episodes tonight. Really, and that's really a good sign.
Yeah. So you're still in the first season?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, you got 3.
I know.
So
we're glad to hear that too.
Going to be good. What about you, Vic?
Well, as you may or may not know, I live with a nurse.
Yes.
So it only makes sense that we're watching The Pit.
Yes.
Love it.
Getting accolades in every direction.
Love it. Couple woke moments here and there, but we'll let that go. It's July 4th. First of all, The Pit is real time. So the hour episode is an hour at the hospital.
Oh.
And the whole show is like 10 hours or whatever. A shift would be 12, I guess, 12 hours.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting in that regard that
Okay.
an hour is an hour, I think Noah Wiley's great.
He's fantastic.
As Dr. Robbie.
Mhm.
Don't know any other people's names that are the actors in it, but I love it. And I got emotional last night, I got to tell you, because of some of the characters' empathy for the patients and things that are happening,
And what's that on, Vic?
HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Had to think
Oh, we
there
got
for
that.
a
Okay.
second, yeah. But I do like it. The little woke things are, that's all right, we'll let it go.
Well, and I haven't had a chance to start it yet, but like I said, it's getting accolades in every direction. Not just Noah Wiley, but the show itself. Just won an Actors Award.
Yeah, and the actors are great. One of the girls who's a new, because it's a teaching hospital. The Pit is the name of the hospital. It's actually not the name of the hospital. It's a nickname for the hospital.
What they call it.
And one of the newest doctors in there, the girl who plays Mel, I can't think of her last name, is Bryan Cranston's daughter. And I don't see it. My wife said, oh, yeah, I can see that. No, I don't see it at all. But anyway, it's great show. Little woke once in a while, but I let that go because the acting is so good. And I'm overtaken by the empathy of some of the people, because they watch people die. Okay,
Yeah,
did you ever watch somebody die?
Mm-hmm. My dad.
Yeah, I wasn't there that morning. To quote "The Living Years" by Mike and the Mechanics. But the empathy of some of the employees just make me crazy. And so,
don't you hope that in real life that's really what happened?
I asked my wife that, and she says, "Yeah, it's not easy. There's one character you just completely fall in love with, and he dies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So anyway, I like the bit.
Sad.
And yours is shrinking. Shrinkage. You were in the pool. Is that what it was?
No, shrinking.
Oh.
Shrinking.
I watched Loki too on the Disney.
Loki?
Uh-huh.
What is
It's
Loki?
a TV show. It's a show. It's a spinoff of the Marvel comics.
Oh.
Characters from Thor, and he's the brother, and but they totally demean him, and it's great to watch the whole thing, because if you go to the very end, you're like shocked. So if you get a chance, Loki, it's a TV show. It's actually on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Yay.
Kathy Kaiser, Fox 2 Thursdays and Fridays.
No, just Thursdays. Because
9 to
Friday
noon.
I'm with you.
That's right. You don't want to miss that. Appreciate you.
Great.
See
Thanks
you
for
next
having me,
week.
guys.
thanks, Kathy.
What are you watching?
Loki?
Loki, L-O-K-I. Yeah, check it out.
You're into that comic book stuff, huh?
A little bit sometimes. Marvel's good. I don't like DC.
I couldn't tell you one from the other. I wouldn't be able to tell you one from the other. But, you live, you lear. Miller Time is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
You might have heard there's quite a load of money missing, new millionaires, all the kids are leering in fake.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
On the next
Larry Connor's USA.
The story behind the story: when I was learning to dance before my first prom, my teacher, my mother.
Larry Connor's USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Now, the Free Market Minute, brought to you by the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University.
Hey, it's Mike Ferguson from The Morning Show, and I'm here with Dr. Grant Black. And Grant, does having more economic freedom make a difference in people's lives, such as maybe helping reduce poverty?
It definitely makes a difference. Economic freedom is critical for fostering well-being and prosperity. It enables people to make their own choices and pursue their own interest, like choosing careers, starting businesses, and innovating to make the world better. It thrives in environments that empower people, promote competition, and protect property rights, all while being supported by limited and healthy government. Economic freedom is a catalyst for generating higher incomes, greater wealth, more opportunities, better access to education, and improved health at all levels of society. It makes a difference.
The John W. Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University fosters and examines market-oriented approaches to economic and social issues. To learn more, visit hammondinstitute.org.
Fox News Commentary with Guy Benson, next.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's Guy Benson.
Even facing down the barrel of the biggest gun they've ever seen, and even in their enervated and nearly naked state, right now, this regime, in terms of self-defense, the mullahs still refuse to abandon the nuclear obsession. It is their overwhelming priority and will always be as long as they rule. We built up one of the biggest aerial forces ever in the history of war right around them. And we said this all goes away if you give up your nukes forever. You give up your intercontinental ballistic weapons, give up your nukes. We'll provide you with nuclear material for civilian purposes, but the nuclear program is shut down and you survive. And they said no. That tells you everything you need to know.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I'm gonna grab a bite to eat. You want like a sandwich or something?
What kind of sandwich ain't too fattening?
I have the sandwich.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
The Way. That's the name of the song, right? The Way?
Yeah.
Can't think of who does it, though.
101 The River. Fastball?
Fastball, right. The Hammond Institute News Talk STL present the Vice President of State Tax Policy for the Tax Foundation, Manish Bhatt. And that is Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 7:30 at Lindenwood University. It's going to be very, very important. Tax information, of course, is always great. It's free. You do have to RSVP. Please go to hammondinstitute.org, or you can always go to newstalkstl.com for all that stuff, too. Ken. Whew. I need so much Miller time. It is.
Welcome to Miller Time.
It's Miller time. Miller time. Miller time.
You know, I've done a little sound editing in my career in radio from time to time. I've never heard anything that good as the Miller Time intro.
Oh, thanks, Vic.
Because it goes from the beginning of the song to the end of the song, and it's seamless. I don't even know where the edit is, and I do that stuff. I do this.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, so it is Miller Time. Stephen Miller, Assistant Chief of Staff and Advisor to President Trump, and always entertaining. And you know what the best part is? The libs hate him. They call him a Nazi, and he's a Jew.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start right at the top, Ken. Number one, give me a Miller.
Miller time.
The president has made clear that he believes America's awesome military might should be used to protect and defend America's interests, not to surrender the world to our adversaries, to our enemies, to those who would do us harm, not to surrender the world's resources, lanes of commerce, or capacity to keep our citizens safe.
He's right?
Yeah.
Can I just say something totally unrelated to the content of what he said? Did you ever hear his wife speak? Exact same pattern, exact same speech pattern, exact same cadence.
No uhs?
Oh, never. But I tried to picture life at home for the Millers.
Yeah.
At dinner. Honey, can you pass the mashed potatoes and the salt? Okay, but do you want some butter on that? Yes, I'll have some butter on that. You know?
Right.
That's how it's got to be.
It has to be that way.
So anyway, what he was talking about, of course, is true. Our military. See, this is what I meant. You want to be a libertarian? Go ahead. You know, I get it. In some cases, I want the government out of my pocket, out of my bedroom. I don't want anything to do with anything I do.
Yeah.
And I get that part.
Absolutely.
And I also get the part of if Mongolia is fighting Congolia or whatever,
right?
It's none of our business. You guys fight it out. We're not going to worry about it. Matter of fact, Donald Trump went and helped stop these wars.
Right.
Right? But when it affects us directly, I think you got to keep your little libertarian mouth shut.
Yeah, you need to step aside and say, okay, I may not agree with it, but this president has it under control. This is the whole problem. It's a trust issue. And it's a fake trust issue because they should be trusting his track record, President Trump's I'm talking about, is great. They should be saying, okay, well, I don't like the guy, but let this thing pan out because we trust him because he's done a lot.
And you're absolutely right, 100%. And if you get your little libertarian way and we don't hit Iran and we don't do anything, and then years later we get hit with a nuclear bomb from Iran, then it's on you. It's not on Trump, it's on you.
Exactly right.
All right, let's do another one, Ken. Give me a Miller.
It's Miller time.
America first means America will be the greatest, most unquestioned, unmatched power in the world. And it means we will defend American lives. And yes, we will avenge American blood. Iran has waged war against the American people, this regime, for 47 years. They took our embassy hostage. They bombed our Marines in Beirut. They kidnapped, tortured, and murdered the CIA station chief. They have maimed and wounded and attacked thousands of American troops. All of that American blood spilled by this regime.
And Vic, not only that, but think about earlier this year, the Iranian government said, we're going to war with the United States. We are at war with the United States. Okay, sounds to me like they were at war with us.
So, again, that goes right back to my point from before. You want to be a little libertarian, that's great. But if they directly but tell you that they're going to come threaten you with war, you got to fight back.
Yeah.
So this isn't really even a preeminent strike. This is just trying to prophylactically get Iran out of the situation.
Well, and they said, well, you said President Trump said that he already got rid of all the nukes. So why are you going back in? Here's the thing. You need to understand, it wasn't all complete. What he said, everything that they did originally, the first bombing, they met their targets. The problem is that the Iranians took some of these, the radioactive stuff, all the different features that create a nuclear warhead, a nuclear bomb. They moved them to different areas. Then they brought them back and said, in their own words, well, we're going to continue the program, so shut up.
Well, here's the thing about how Democrats lie, okay? What you said, that first strike, Midnight Hammer, took out their nuclear capabilities, and now he said he didn't say we're 2 weeks away from them having a bomb. He never said that.
No.
They're 2 weeks away from enriching uranium to make a bomb.
Yeah.
But that's not what the left said. Oh, I thought we got the nuclear site. Oh, what do they got? New nuclear sites now ready to shoot thing in 2 weeks? No, he never said that.
No, they make this stuff up, this scenario up. They put it to the media. The media says, "Oh, it must be true because they said it."
I can't do it anymore.
No, you can do it. You can't.
I can't.
Let's continue.
Okay, then give me a Miller.
Miller time.
President Trump for years has said we will not allow a regime that sheds the blood of our citizens, that menaces our people, that spreads terrorism around the world, that trains proxy armies. We will not allow that regime to have missiles that can reach our troops, that can reach our bases, that someday in the future could reach the American mainland, and certainly will not allow that regime to have nuclear weapons.
Right. No matter how far along they are in the process of enriching uranium to make a nuclear bomb. I mean, they're not stupid, Ken. The Democrats aren't stupid. They're evil, and their intentions are bad. Always.
Yeah, all of them.
Always.
All
of them.
I would not even excuse. I think the whole leadership of the New Democrat Socialist Party hates this country, and they would. You know what? I'll go as far to say I think there are leaders, including Hakeem Jeffries, who would love the idea of us losing out in this war, and people getting killed at the expense.
And I think John Fetterman is being very brave and voting with his heart and his head.
Yeah.
Ever since October 7th, when his motherland was attacked, right, Israel, he's like, wait a minute, you guys are idiots, man. Why aren't you sticking up for the Jews? I'm a Jew. You don't like me because I'm a Jew? That's what he should say. That's what he should say.
Yeah.
You don't like me what? Because I'm a Jew? Is that why?
Yeah, he's trying to be a little more diplomatic, but that's
forget diplomatic
No,
now.
Right. No, I agree with what you just said.
Let's put up your dukes.
Let's go.
I love that phrase, put up your dukes.
Your dukes.
I guess your fists
Where's
are your
that come
dukes.
from? I guess.
1930s radio.
Somewhere.
All right, fine. Come on, put up your dukes. That's when they talk like that in the movies. All right, one more. Let's do one more.
All right.
Give me
Miller time.
I got this other one, too, here, by the way, Vic.
It's Miller time.
What you're seeing right now is a military under President Trump's leadership that's not fighting politically correct, that isn't fighting with its hands tied behind its back. One of the reasons I fear that some people in this country lost faith in the military and the capacity to use that military to defend us is because we had a woke Pentagon. Because we had a military who, at the very highest levels, not the warfighters, was forced to fight a less than full fight. What you're seeing now is a military that is unleashed in all of its lethal prowess to go out and seek, destroy, and kill the enemy, which is what militaries are for.
You know what, Ken? He's so right about that because, honestly, had Kamala Harris won that election, we would be another country.
Totally right now, yeah.
We'd be speaking Russian or Chinese, drinking vodka and eating Chinese food every night. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's, we talked about the Shield of the Americas that they created recently of the Western Hemisphere, right? China was creating a new port in every city in South and Central America. They were creating ports in different areas. They were creating new relationships with Canada. We would be surrounded right now.
They did, or they still are?
They did. The Panama Canal, they ran.
That's right. You're
until Trump ran them out. That was one of his first acts, actually.
All right. Sometimes when we do Miller Time, I also think of bartender, come down here. He said, "What you want?" I want a Miller.
Miller Time.
Oh, I broke it. Oh,
he wasn't going to let Iran strike first. He wasn't going to let this regime make the first attack as he feared and believed.
Stop. This is what Rand Paul needs to listen to, okay?
Yeah.
And Thomas Massie needs to listen to. We can't wait for them to attack, because then what are we doing? We're defending. We're not on the offense anymore.
Right, and you brought up earlier this week that we used to be a secretary. We used to have a Secretary of War, a Department of War.
Right.
But then once we started having a Secretary of Defense and a Department of Defense, we started to lose.
That's right.
We started to,
because we were being on the defensive.
Yes.
All right, let him finish. Let's get out.
They would on American soldiers and American troops. Wasn't going to happen. He was going to decapitate that regime. So whether you're talking about what we're doing to fight the drug cartels in the Western Hemisphere, if you're talking about the Maduro operation, if you're talking about Midnight Hammer or Operation Epic Fury, this is a president who's making clear the world's superpower will not shirk from doing what is necessary to protect the quality of life that every American has an absolute right to enjoy.
Yeah. And that's why being a superpower is doing exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. There's no other way around it.
And they want to try to make it the intent being create a new leadership in Iran. It's not.
Yeah.
That's residual. And in fact, his leadership and President Trump himself said, now it's up to the Iranian people to control their destiny. This is the perfect opportunity for them to do it now.
And this is the perfect thing to say, so to quiet any kind of, opposition to what he's doing. We're not regime changing. We're not doing anything.
We're not doing anything, right?
Iranian people got to get your act together. And, if you get in trouble, I guess we'll come help you again. But
he'll help.
Yeah.
He'll help make suggestions. He's going to be a part of the actual leadership that's going to choose someone for them.
Yeah.
But he's not doing it as the primary goal.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for Miller Time.
Miller Time. Miller Time.
So good, Kenny. That's Miller Time. We do that every Friday as long as Steve Miller's talking. We're playing.
That's right.
All right. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about copper and other minerals.
The Herzog Tomorrow Foundation provides private school tuition scholarships through Missouri's new Most Scholars program to cover the cost of accessible, high-quality schooling.
Hi, this is Myella Esser with the Herzog Tomorrow Foundation. Our private school tuition scholarships wouldn't be possible without the support of generous Missouri taxpayers. If you're a Missouri taxpayer interested in redirecting your tax dollars and sending them to Missouri students in need of a better education, please contact me at herzogmostscholars.org.
Better education for students creates a better tomorrow for all. Learn how you can help provide a better education for Missouri students at HerzogMoScholars.org. That's HerzogMoScholars.org. Also, sign up for The Lion, an initiative of the Herzog Foundation that carries articles covering a wide range of issues facing American families and culture. HerzogFoundation.com. That's HerzogFoundation.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common-sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at INHSTL.com. That's INHSTL.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. U.S. President Donald Trump appeared to rule out talks with Iran, absent its unconditional surrender. Meanwhile, Israeli warplanes again today pounding Beirut and Tehran, even as Iran launched another wave of retaliatory strikes against Israel and Gulf countries. The first flight from Dubai to San Francisco since the outbreak of the Iran war landed at San Francisco International Airport last night. Jennifer Castor was among those on board, and the group of travelers told KGO News that House Speaker Mike Johnson gave them a call.
So it was the middle of the night. It mostly just said that they were aware we were here and we're going to discuss it in meetings. But we booked our own flights, basically.
Kelly DeGarmo also among those on board and told KGO that they were a few of the lucky ones.
We were from a group with 63 people and 59 of them are still there.
A GOP congressman facing an ethics investigation now is withdrawing from his re-election bid.
The decision by Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas to end his re-election bid came after he admitted an affair with a former staff member who later died by suicide. But Gonzalez vowed to finish out his term in Congress. This week, the House Ethics Committee opened an investigation into his conduct, prompting calls from GOP leadership to end his re-election bid.
That is Greg Clarkson reporting. Lisa Dwyer reports the job numbers took a hit.
American employers unexpectedly cut more jobs than they created in February. Economists had expected the creation of 60,000 new jobs for the month. Instead, employers cut 92,000 jobs. Revisions also cut 69,000 jobs from December and January payrolls. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.4%. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medishare. That's right.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medishare and your health care bills?
You know what? It was seamless, and that's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems, and let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in, and it's just what you need. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medishare and saving tons of money. The typical family, I'm fond of saying, could save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medishare. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-94-BIBLE. That's 844-94-BIBLE. 844-94-BIBLE.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Your business moves fast. PRI Global keeps it moving smarter for almost 30 years, delivering top tech talent to help companies grow stronger, custom applications, simplifying your operations, securing your data, modernizing your business from the cloud up. And with Prismatic, you're going to get real-time insights, automated workflows, people, process, platform. PRI Global delivers all three. PRIGlobal.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint, formulated to outsmart the elements. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, mold or mildew. Our home exterior coatings intelligently designed to stand up to Mother Nature. Call 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Hi, this is Mark Harder with RE/MAX Results, the region's largest RE/MAX real estate brokerage. It is cold outside, but the real estate market is hot. This is a great time to buy or sell a home. Interest rates are also declining, which gives you more buying power. Someday is not a day on the calendar, but today is. Call me at 314-852-8933 for a free custom home buying plan. 314-852-8933.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Have you noticed mattress stores are dramatic? Final clearance, last chance, going out of business every single weekend. Relax. Snooze Mattress and Wellness is locally owned, family owned, and we don't do fake urgency. We use advanced sleep technology trusted by NASA and the Mayo Clinic to fit you to the right mattress, based on your body, not a sales quote. No gimmicks, no games, just better sleep. Snooze Mattress and Wellness. Finally, a mattress store you'll love.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, last hour of the work and weekend because it's Friday, isn't it? Is it Friday or is it not Friday?
Vic, it is absolutely Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All right, so I learned a little bit here in the last couple of minutes talking to my pal Ken Williams that we have more copper underground in our country than anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It happens to be in Alaska, where Anwar is, where we're drilling, I hope. Are we drilling up there? We better be. So it's not just all about oil. It's about rare earth minerals, right? So let's talk to a guy who knows about that. His name is John Shively from the Pebble Project. John, thanks for being with us. How are you, sir?
I'm just great. Vic, and you?
I'm good. Before we even get going, I want to think that a lot of the problems here and why we haven't utilized all the copper that we have is because of Lisa Murkowski. Am I right there?
Well, I mean, she's part of the problem.
She's a pain in the ass, John. Say it. She's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know she is. And I don't, she's one of my two senators, and I don't always agree with her, but she is a sort of personal friend. But, yeah,
sorry. Oh, my God, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
Well, sorry about that. You can kick me off the show now.
No. You could dump us if you want. I had no idea. Last thing I thought, that's my pal you're talking about. That's a pain in the ass. All right. So let's talk about other things like copper. There's lots of copper up there. And now this copper can be something we can use, something we can export, right? It can be a big boon, a big thing for the United States.
Well, we need it. I mean, look at anything that we're building, more electronic infrastructure, data centers, EVs, solar, wind, any power plant, traditional power plant, coal, natural gas, all need copper. And there was a study recently that said by 2040 we'll be 10,000 tons short of copper worldwide. And so what does that mean? Well, it means, and why? Well, let me say why first. Why is that? Because everything that's electronic is growing, and also contributing to that is the fact that third world countries want to better their standard of living. That requires power, reasonably priced power. And key in this country, particularly right now, is defense. I mean, we're building up our defense budget, and we're obviously being very active with our Department of War budget. And so, if it's an airplane, if it's a nuclear sub, if it's an aircraft carrier, if it's, the electronics needed to guide a missile, copper. So what happens if there's a deficit? Well, if the law of supply and demand says the price goes up. If you don't have enough supply, and who pays for that? The consumer on one part, and then the other potential problem is if there's not enough copper, who gets it? Does it go to consumer first? Does it go to data centers first? Does it go to defense first? Those are all questions that need to be answered. In the meantime, we're at Pebble sitting on a project that has 82 billion pounds potentially of copper, as well as other minerals. And the environmentalists have been fighting us for years. The Biden administration put in a major veto of the project, just said you can't do it, even though we have an environmental impact statement that says we can do it. The project is located in an area that has the world's largest sockeye fishery. So we have in the same area, we have the world's largest undeveloped copper project and the world's largest sockeye fishery, but the environmental impact statement says we can do the two together.
So we're talking to John Shively. He's the Pebble Project CEO. And John, I think it's all about control, right? I mean, the same way with petroleum, you can say that, well, being independent with energy, that makes us in control of our own destiny, and us having the opportunity to have rare earth minerals, including copper and some other ones as well, as from what I understand, what I've read about, we have that control then at that point. But otherwise, it's going to be all China.
It's going to be mostly China. Right now, China processes 50% plus of all the copper in the world.
Wow.
We import about 45% of our copper, a lot of it from Chile. But, of course, the difference is China can ramp up much faster than we can. If they want to build a copper processing plant, they build it. If they want to build a coal-fired plant, there's no environmental impact statement. There are no lawsuits. They build it. They also control basically the whole supply chain. They buy copper concentrate from around the world. They process it into copper, and then they put copper into things like their EVs, solar panels, refrigerators, anything they make. So that allows them sometimes to manage the price along that supply line. So, for instance, right now for processing, they're doing it basically for free, which means if the U.S. wants to get into more processing, and we haven't built a new copper processing plant in this country in decades, it's uneconomic.
Yeah. So let me ask you, data centers, right? And according to what we have here, 6.4, listen to this, Kev, 6.4 billion pounds of copper, and the data centers use how much of that, and how long will that last? How long will the copper last at the data center? Because the data center usage is only going to get bigger, I'm assuming.
Well, that's my assumption also. I think the data centers, and I don't have that figure right in front of me, is about 10 or 15% of the use of copper in the country. But I could be wrong on that. But, there's the other things that go with it. There's the data center itself, and then there is the electricity capacity you have to build to run the data centers. And then there's all the stuff that you and I and everybody else uses that goes through the data centers, coppers and all of it.
So, according to this, AI data centers are projected to consume 500,000 tons of copper annually by 2030. Do we have enough copper for that?
No, we do not.
Well, what are we going to do, John?
Go to China.
Well, yeah, we'll go to China, but actually there might not even be enough copper in the world by 2030, 2040.
Nobody thought about this in advance?
Yes, one country. Guess which one?
China.
Exactly. So, they've been building up their capacity for a couple decades or more. Meanwhile, as I said, we haven't built a new copper processing plant in our country in decades. Every copper mine in the country is being fought by the environmentalists, courts, and then in our case, the federal government steps in and says, no, you can't mine on land that was set aside. It's state-owned land owned by the state of Alaska that was specifically set aside for potential mineral development. But you can't do it.
Go ahead, John.
And the other issue in this country is permitting. I mean, it takes an average of 29 years from the time you find a mineral resource to get it permitted in this country. We're beyond that time frame. But so we're second worst in the world. Zimbabwe is a little worse.
Yeah, well, I wanted to go back to that for a second because China, they'll build a new coal plant every week. I mean, and then they tell us, well, you shouldn't be building coal plants in the United States, but let China build as many as they possibly can. And that goes for, drilling and doing whatever else they want to do. They can do it anytime they want. But I want to ask you about the people living in Alaska. How are they going to benefit from the work that you're going to do with getting that copper out of the ground?
Well, the local area where we are, we're out in rural Alaska, small remote villages. We're not connected by roads to the main part of the state. There is some commercial fishing industry out there, but that industry itself is in trouble right now. So the first thing is people get jobs. And then, of course, there's government revenue. We're on state land, so there's a royalty. There are corporate income taxes. There'll be jobs throughout the state, not only direct jobs at the mine, 800 to 1,000 jobs, but also, we're going to have to get supplies. We're going to have transportation companies to get fly people into the mine area. And so there's a lot of spin-off. And actually not just in Alaska, nationwide. I mean, Alaska doesn't build any large mining equipment. And, if you looked at mining equipment, I mean, there's huge trucks, huge pieces of equipment that require not only the equipment itself, but tires get worn out, all of that. So I think we did a study, and this is a number of years ago now, that we would be buying something from virtually every state in the union.
Well, dig, baby, dig.
We're not taking this seriously enough, I think, John, because I haven't had this conversation before. Have you, Ken?
No.
So this is how I knew, though, that we'd be having this conversation today with John Shively from the Pebble Project. Down at the Jersey Shore, New Jersey Shore, people that own houses there, they just live in them in the summer, and then they go back up to North Jersey in the winter. And then during that off season, people steal the copper from, going to the washing machine and the refrigerator and all that, and they come back and all their copper's gone. I should have thought of this conversation then, I guess. Like, what's the deal? Why are you stealing people's copper?
Because it's, copper, when I first started back in 2008 and working for Pebble, was about $1.50 or so a pound. It's now almost $6. And so, and it's easily recyclable. That's the nice thing about it. You steal copper, you can turn around and sell it as copper.
Yep. And I think that, like Ken said, dig, baby, dig, drill, baby, drill.
Right.
Get this going. All right, John Shively from the Pebble Project. He's the CEO. How can we find out more about the Pebble Project, first of all?
You go to our website, pebbleproject.com, and that's the best way. And I'm available on LinkedIn, John Shively, so people can send me questions there. I look at it and answer the questions. That's the way, probably best to have personal contact also, although my work email is John Shively at pebblepartnership.com, so that works too.
All right, John. Thanks so much for your time. As scary as it is to hear, we had to hear it, so we appreciate you letting us know, okay?
Well, Vic, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And say hi to your friend Lisa Murkowski for you. Boy, we love her.
Yeah,
She's
we do.
just great.
I'll give her your best.
Thanks.
Thank you. See you, John.
Take care.
Bye.
Boy, oh boy, talk about being blindfolded and walking right over a cliff.
Yeah, but you can tell that he's a CEO. I mean, he negotiated through that
He
very
did.
well.
He did.
I mean, I was like, okay.
And I didn't help.
You know?
But she's a pain in the ass.
Well,
that
you know
Lisa
what? He's
Murkowski.
probably had that conversation with her. He's probably said, yeah, we're friends, but come on.
And maybe I'm not the only person that said that to him.
I don't think you. I don't know, Vic. I mean, you do some pretty unique questions.
Is that right?
Which I like.
Okay.
You know, I enjoy it actually,
Oh,
and I
okay,
think our Vic heads do as well.
So Ken, I mean, I don't think once again how I always say they don't end in the bad guy factor. This isn't necessarily the bad guy factor, but with these data centers that are absolutely needed in this country to run all the AI that everybody's talking about, we have to have all the AI.
Yeah.
And we don't even have enough copper in the ground now to run these data centers
As they grow, yeah.
So what the hell?
Well, it has to happen, and that's where President Trump comes in with his policies, his deregulation. If you remember, President Trump said now, this time around, well, last time it was, I think, he was going to get rid of 10 regulations for every new one that he puts in place. I think this time it was like 100 or 50 or something like that. And that's the whole idea here, is to deregulate enough for it to allow us to be able to at least compete with China. Vic, China has no regulation. Their government, the CCP, comes in and says, well, we want to build X amount of coal plants anytime we want, anywhere we want. But guess what, Vic? We use the same air jet stream that they use.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're building a new one a week and we're getting rid of ours, who's winning?
Ken, everything you say is absolutely true. However, there's only so much copper in the ground. And by the year 2030, not enough to run the AI data centers. That's all I'm saying. Whether deregulation or not, Trump's great. We love him. China sucks. We hate him. There's only so much copper to dig up.
And then we'll cross that road when we come to it.
Cross that road when we come to it. That's what they said when they started this AI crap.
No. I think I think you might be not counting the actual Alaska copper, though, because he said it. He said, with this copper, we can keep up, we can compete. But if we can't drill, we're not going to be able to.
Sounds to me like I said, do we have enough? He said, no. There's not enough copper by
right
the year
now. No,
2030.
I know what you're talking about.
You can't create it. You can't create copper.
No.
It's got to be there.
Vic, right now, where we
Ken.
are, right now where we are with the regulations that are in place, if we're not allowed to dig up in Alaska.
Get it. What if we dig all the copper that there is underground? Every single little
We'll
bit
have
of
enough.
copper.
We will have enough.
We'll have enough to run the AIs?
Yes, I think that's what the point he was trying to make. Let us dig up with Pebble up in Alaska, and we will have enough to keep up with China.
All right, well, Lisa Murkowski's a pain in the ass.
She
I just
is.
don't know why he won't.
And I'm glad you brought
understand
that
it.
up to her. I really am.
So I was on the radio this morning, Lisa, with these two guys, and this one guy goes, yeah, that Lisa Murkowski's a real pain in the ass. How dare he? Well, you haven't voted with the president yet.
Right. I guarantee you, if they're truly friends like he said they were, he's had this conversation with her.
I can see the headlines now. Shively breaks up with Murkowski. 2 radio guys in St. Louis to blame. The hell with it all. All right, Ken, you want to do the chat box next? Is that next?
Let's do that.
Let's do it. On 1019 94.1 News Talk STL.
Lighting your head and dead on your feet. Well, another crazy day. You'll drink the night away and forget about everything.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL.
So cold, it's got so many people, but
Vic and Ken.
They don't know what the they're doing.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. News Talk STL.
First thing in the morning and pretty much all day.
Live and local. 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney.
As a doctor, I see the body heal every day. But is there more to healing than biology? This week, Pastor Ryan Hart and I talk about Miracles, spiritual gifts, and whether they're still active today. Faith meets physiology. Don't miss it.
Simply Health, Saturdays at noon on News Talk STL. To find out more about Simply Health Integrated Medical, log on to simplyhealthintegrated.com.
There's something magical about walking into your backyard and knowing your family is completely safe and secure. Hi, I'm Sean Long, owner of STL Fence Works. That's the feeling my team and I have been creating for metro area families for more than 50 years. Whether you're adding your first fence or finally creating the outdoor sanctuary you've always wanted, we offer premium vinyl and stunning ornamental options, all designed around your family's specific needs and lifestyle. While other companies struggle with supply delays and rising costs, we've always proudly used all American-made materials, which means better pricing and faster installation for you. Our experienced craftsmen exemplify our motto, your satisfaction is our passion. From Warrenton to Wildwood, your neighbors trust us because we live here too. And we care about your project as much as you do. Right now is the golden time to build with flexible financing options and a commitment to completing your fence on time and on budget. Visit stlfenceworks.com.
1949, the last time a Republican held the top post in St. Louis City. A gallon of milk was 84 cents and streetcars ran down Grand Avenue. Unfortunately, St. Louis City streets are no longer the epicenter of family and business life. In the 80 years of Democrat control, our city has been on a steady decline.
Hello, Kirk Ilsinger, chairman of the Republican Party for the city of St. Louis, and we believe it is our duty to provide a different path forward. I invite you to our meetings the first Thursday of every month. Learn more at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
So many ways to listen to News Talk STL. Enable our Alexa skill.
Hello.
Hey, Alexa.
Yes, I'm listening.
Play News Talk STL.
Welcome to News Talk STL, conservative talk radio for St. Louis.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
We demand a lower work week, 32-hour work week.
Very well, we'll give them shorter hours. We'll start by cutting their lunch hour to 20 minutes.
Made in St. Louis, for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Fabulous Thunderbirds. Ain't that tough enough?
Great song, man.
Jimmy Vaughn, Stevie Ray's big brother, guitar player in
Oh, okay.
Thunderbirds, yeah. All right, Ken, I think it's about time for the chat box, right? I felt like we haven't chat boxed in a long time.
I know.
Let's start with Facebook, since we completely screwed our Facebook listeners yesterday because of Rumble. Paul Spool, our great friend, it's another Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. Ken has his red shirt on. I have my red. What is this thing called?
Lanyard.
My lanyard on.
Or whatever that is.
Good Friday morning, you bunch of Vic Heads. Whoosh, says Grant.
Whoosh.
Thank God it's Friday. Friday, thank kid it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, it's a little auto correct problem there. I've spent the past 2 days on Capitol Hill in D.C. advocating for our veterans with the AMVETS Veteran Service Organization. What an honor.
Because he's a mensch.
Next week, I'd love to come in and give you all an update about specific veterans issues currently being addressed. Ken, I vote yes on that question.
I say yes, yeah.
Okay, done. Passed. Good morning, Tom. How are you, you freedom fighters? Therein lies the real reason they are eliminating the penny. Oh.
Costs us $149 million a year as a country to create pennies.
That's great insight. We have great listeners, don't we? Good morning, fam bam. The United States is no longer wasting copper in the production of the penny. Christopher and Kathleen on the same page. Maybe they should go get a room somewhere. Barry's in first. He says, Friday, whoosh.
Whoosh.
Hey, how you doing, Patriots? Hey, BMS, we're doing good. How you doing?
Vic. Yo, Vic.
Morning, freedom fighting patriot Vic Heads that love the USA. Thank you, Allison. They have over 300 vacancies in the city police force, and they refuse to get that number filled. Plus, now it's hard to fill because of the rhetoric about the police by the city.
Yeah, you keep doing that, and you're not helping your cause. That's why I said, well, why don't you try something new? How about a Republican leadership?
How about that?
They won't cut down the police force. In fact, they'll encourage them. And you know what? Here's another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The assumption being is that people that live in North City don't want the police, and that's a lie.
Sure it is.
They live there. They work there. They're a community.
They want to be safe.
They want to be safe. They want to sit out on their front porch.
They don't want to get caught in the crossfire of a drive-by shooting.
It's horrible, yeah.
The other thing that sucks for people living in the city but work in the county is that they still get that earnings tax taken out with all the other taxes. What's the incentive to live in the city?
Right.
I hated that when we worked in the city and we got the city tax.
That 1%, you know.
That's why when we came here, everybody got a 1% raise, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't mean a real raise. I mean with the tax.
You got a 1% dividend
Shut up.
of some kind.
If I were a sports team owner in the city, I'd be leaning on the city leaders to up the police presence and fill those vacancies. Well, how can they do that when they hate the police? You can't hate the police and run a city. You can't.
No, you can't do that, number one. Number two, yeah, I get, when there are special events and the police are very, very visible around the event area. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everywhere in the city.
Yeah. Norm's extra-marital affairs, marital affairs, sorry. Gnomes. You wrote Norm. It's Gnome's extramarital affairs while still married goes to her lack of honor and integrity. If Peter Strzok is partly judged on his affair, turnabout is fair play.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And you know what the difference is, everybody, is that we talked about it and we could call that out. We can call her out on the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They don't do that on the left. They all coalesce. They all become one, and it's like, ooh, you better not talk about anything bad about us.
Well, they passed that thing to hide all the sexual stuff, right?
Exactly right.
I think Chip Roy's right. We got to start over.
Yeah.
Strip everybody from their jobs. Start all over.
There's too deep of a swamp of uniparty people, and I know there are people that don't believe in the uniparty. I do solely believe in that.
Yeah, you were the first person I heard say that word. Does fourth get a participation trophy? Ed's fourth. He wants to know if he can get a trophy for being fourth.
You can get a fourth place trophy.
Ed.
How about that, Ed?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair elections.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
President 4D chess master Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Correct!
My grandma taught me the polka. The first dance lesson was at age 4. Now, I should say also that when I was in 6th grade, how old are you in 6th grade? 12 years old, right?
6th grade, yeah, 10 to 12, somewhere in there.
Hormones raging,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And they had this program at the school called social dancing. And you're with the girl standing right in front of you, so now you can smell her, right? You can smell the perfume and how pretty she smells.
Right.
And her pretty face. And then the hormones are raging even more. Okay, now put your hand around her waist. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to explode here. Right? And you hold her hand with the other hand,
Yeah.
I don't think it was a good time to do that.
Well, it taught you control.
I guess so. But we were supposed to learn how to dance, not learn control. And I learned the
Both.
foxtrot.
How about
Sorry.
both?
Foxtrot was the first dance I learned.
Oh, what, really?
And what was your question?
No, I just said both. You learn both. You learn how to dance, you learn how to control.
Got it. You just had to more New Jersey every day, Ken. That's good. The left may be a small minority, but they're big enough to screw up the midterms if the GOP keeps doing the same thing.
Oh,
Let me tell you, you're right, PMS, because if we don't get on the offensive and start telling America the truth about what they are and what they do and what they say, there's no way we can lose the midterms if the American people find that out.
Yes. They got to pass the SAVE Act. There are a lot of things to be on the offensive, and this whole thing, this John Thune thing, I don't understand.
What's the problem?
Because he's like a roadblock. He's blocking the SAVE Act for some reason.
Why would he do that?
Passively, there's no like him. He's not coming out and saying, "I don't want the SAVE Act to be passed," but he's the one who brings it forward. Okay, do it, pass it.
It's too important not to. It's too important for the future of this country. The reason why Republicans the reason why Republicans don't talk about the CO2 levels and fight the narrative is because they're getting paid to shut their mouths and protect their donors.
I believe if you follow the money on any of these issues where it's very odd that they're not in line with what we actually believe, I think there's somewhere along the line there's going to be money handed over.
Happy birthday to Don Mueller. Remember when he came in with the fish fries, right?
Yeah.
So he's got a birthday coming up Sunday. If Senator Kennedy is sent in as closer, you should worry. If Senator Kennedy is sent in as closer, you should worry. I lost respect for Kennedy with this. He wanted her gone, or he allowed himself to be used to get her out. What's going on here? He specifically called her out for being featured in the ads. Who was butthurt over that? So what's going on here?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's as much speculation as everything else. I mean, you can say that. I don't even know. I have no idea.
She was riding a horse. What's the problem with that?
My problem with her doing all that stuff was she could have been standing there in a more serious mode instead of why are you riding a horse, spending all that money. It was like $210 million for this ad campaign.
You know what I wish she never did? I wish she never said that she shot her dog.
Yeah, that was a really bad one.
I saw a meme the other day where she was testifying, not in front of Congress, but she's sitting there, and on the other side is a whole panel of dogs ready to ask her questions.
But I understand
Ken,
why.
it's funny.
I understand. I'm thinking about a more serious issue with the shooting of the dog, Vic. Sorry, but there are reasons why you would shoot a dog if it bit a child or something like that. I mean, I get it. But to bring it out the way she did, I was like, yeah.
You done?
I'm done.
Not going to say the thing again?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's testifying in front of a panel full of dogs.
Who is?
Kristi Noem.
No, okay.
That's why it's a joke.
That's the meme?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my God, you're killing me. I only have so many jokes. I only come prepared with so many jokes, Ken.
Sorry.
You're killing me. President does have a blind spot with all personnel issues. This proves it again. He could have handled it a lot better, call her in face-to-face, then eloquently make the decision and moves. The GOP and RNC consistently shoot themselves in the foot. We know that. And I think that, fired or demoted or promoted, I don't think we need that conversation, really.
No, and this is, again, staying the course. Being behind his decisions that he made. I think there's a lot. Here's the reason why. You've got a left that at every turn is trying to destroy this man.
Yep.
So he doesn't need everybody on the Republican side saying, well, he should not do this. He should behave this way. No, just let him do his thing.
Yeah. And
support him.
I think Kristi Noem did do a good job closing the border.
She did.
Got to give her that.
And if you were truly fired, I've been fired, where I wasn't like, oh well, we're going to move you to a new station.
Right.
Okay, no, being fired is being fired.
Well, you're right, Ken.
She was moved, and you know what? He's loyal to the people that are loyal to him. That's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Keep an eye on the Paxton-Cornyn battle. Thune is possibly holding up killing the filibuster and the SAVE Act because they want Trump to endorse Cornyn. Paxton just said he'd bow out if they kill the filibuster and pass the SAVE Act. Blackmail is the finest in D.C. swamp.
Yeah, isn't that politics at its best or worst?
Connect the dots. Iran was enriching uranium. They were buddies with Russia, selling them drones. Hillary sold our uranium to Russia. Dots
Uranium
connected. Agreed. You have no idea how frustrating it is. No matter how hard you try, you can't save everyone. The Pit is probably the most realistic show portraying what it's like in the fast-paced ER. I agree with that. My problem is I can't watch it alone. I can't watch it without my wife because all the phrases and the fast talking of the medicines and what they got. We got to stop and pause every 2 minutes. What does that mean? What's that drug? What's that disease?
You would drive me nuts if I was watching that with you.
It's bad enough that I live with a nurse and I take full advantage of that, because she's a nurse. She's got to do the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm, right? So I can pull down my pants and show her my ass. Is this looking infected over here, this thing? Is that a boil? What is that?
What is that?
And she's got
Think about what you'd think about.
And she's got to
at the
answer
time.
me. Yeah. A swamp is an awesome ecosystem, just not in the case of the D.C. swamp. D.C. is a sewer. I'd add that it's also a toilet bowl, cesspool. Hey, IGTSY. I don't remember what that stands for. Do you? I go to Sunday school. By the way, hit the like button, would you? It won't kill you. China, India, Russia all really don't care about the environment. They're the biggest polluters, and everybody gets on us. Like, we're going to save the earth.
But that's the actual truth.
Yeah. I'm worried the events yesterday at House Nome, just to show how deep the swamp is in D.C., and I'm worried. See, a lot of people are upset that she got moved. Switch from copper to fiber optics. Murkowski has been called worse.
Wait, something right there. Switching to fiber optics. That's what I said. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what
all right,
I was talking.
I'll give it to you. I thought you were like, well, wait a minute.
No.
And then when it gets here, it's like, oh, we should have thought about this earlier.
We should try and incorporate fiber optics into anything we can.
All right, hold on. This is the most important thing in the entire chat box.
Okay, all right.
Vic, baby.
Shut up.
Oh, Ken, darling. And you Vic Heads, have a wonderful day. Vic, music savant. Ken, bumper music master. I love that.
Shut your face.
47-hour weekend. I can't do no more. Vic and Ken are the two wild and crazy guys. That's what it says. All right, that's it. Hey, it's good to see you. It does say that.
It is good to see him.
All right.
Every chance we get.
The Wheel of Audio Clips is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
House GOP leaders have asked Representative Tony Gonzalez to drop his re-election bid after he admitted having an affair with a staffer. We'll ask Congressman Onder about that at 4:20.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
The Hammond Institute at Lindenwood University and News Talk STL invite you to an exclusive discussion on Missouri's tax future. Manish Bhatt, Vice President of State Tax Policy for the Tax Foundation, will explore our state's tax competitiveness and the latest efforts to eliminate individual income tax and property tax. Wednesday, March 25th at Lindenwood University, part of the H.F. Langenberg Speaker Series. The event is free, but you must RSVP at hammondinstitute.org. That's hammondinstitute.org.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros and Exteriors, your all-in-one service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. Christine and I discovered Gutter Pros and Exteriors when we bought our home and inherited a gutter problem. And they've also repaired siding damage on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros team are also the best for repairing other exterior damage, including fascia, soffit, and all siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros and Exteriors can help your home or business right now at gutterpros.com.
JC's Wayback Machine.
Around this time in 1964, the world was discovering a little band from Liverpool. So we'll visit with Ringo, who talks about his all-star band.
People phone in. People say, hey, are you going out this year?
Wait a minute. You're trying to tell me, like take the 15th caller? It's like a radio station contest?
Yeah, anyone who phones in is in the band.
It's all brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
It's JC's Wayback Machine. Every Saturday night, 6 to 9. On News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
There's always have been compelling value sets that visions of America. One of those value sets is revenge and retribution.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ken, I love Electric Light Orchestra.
I do. First concert I ever went to at the Checker Dome.
What year, do you remember?
Oh, no, I was 13.
Was it 80? Was it 1980?
No, it was before that.
Okay, so John Lennon was still alive?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We saw them right after Lennon got shot, and that night they did Across the Universe.
Oh.
ELO did Across the Universe.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome.
I bet it was
very
yeah.
moving, yeah. And yes, they did Roll Over Beethoven, you bet your ass.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so listen, Vic for Vets is our special thing that we try to remember people. We try to help people if we can. We at least want to acknowledge people who have served this country, Ken.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday at 11:05, we do Vic for Vets. And Ken, how can someone get someone that they know, a veteran, featured and honored on Vic for Vets?
It's real simple, Vic. All you have to do is send me, Ken at NewstalkSTL.com, an email with name, rank, branch of service, and if you have a story either in the military or out in the family, regular civilian life, then that'd be great.
Just let us know about them.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it without the support of Michael Funeral Home, Alamo Military Collectibles, Heroes Care, Gemini Wealth Group, and Freddy's Market. All right, let's get to the Wheel of Audio Clips.
Wheel of Audio Clips!
Brought to you by Johnson Heating and Cooling, making homes comfortable all year round. 636-332-4141. It's America's favorite game show, the Wheel of Audio Clips. Here's the host of Wheel of Audio Clips, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Modrin. Good morning, studio audience. Wow! Studio audience is all up in arms this morning. That's because it's the big Ken Williams fan club. So what we do is take the audio that we play all week. Ken puts them up on the wheel, and we spin the wheel, and wherever the wheel lands, that's the audio clip we play for you. It's all pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's spin the wheel and let's get going. Okay. Did you make that too? With the sponsor over the music and make a hit the post? Or is that Jim?
That's Jim.
He's good too.
Yeah.
He's good
Very
too.
good.
He's good too.
Amazing, actually.
Trying to say that as Jewy as I can. He's good too.
He's good.
Yes, he is. All right. So I won't. Wow. A perfect audio clip to start with, Ken. I am so sick of people on the left in the media lying. They know they're lying. This wasn't a mistake by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all, no.
It's CNN's Lee McGowan.
It's like I am called a domestic terrorist constantly by my government. My president just stood at the State of the Union and said the Democrats are evil monsters who should be killed. If that person...
No. The president did not say that. Wait a minute.
Okay,
no, you have to be accurate.
He said, I will be accurate. Okay, Tim,
for anyone to be killed.
Tim,
I'm sorry. That's
Tim, I will be accurate.
Yeah, the president never called for anyone to be
be accurate.
Okay.
I just want you to be honest. I like you way too much to let me be that wrong.
Let me give her... Okay.
Can you hear anybody there?
Yeah, I heard something.
I heard nothing because they all talked at once. I can't. No,
I heard a bridge too far.
There's too many. I didn't even hear that. Did somebody said that?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, we all watched the State of the Union. Nowhere in that State of the Union did President Trump say Democrats are evil and should be killed.
But she even said that they constantly say it.
Yeah. He did say these people are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. And he never said anybody should be killed. So this is where that fine line between the First Amendment, the freedom of the press, and lying.
Not only that, but it's a perfect example of Ed's toy.
Yeah, sure is.
Everything Democrats say the opposite is true, Vic, because I remember Joe Biden having this special presentation where he had the Marines armed, by the way, with red background, saying that domestic terrorists were MAGA.
Yeah. The existential threat to this country is white supremacy, white supremacists. They're not politicians, but Shakespeare in the Park in New York did a play where Donald Trump gets killed in the midst of the play. What's her name? Kathy Griffin, is that her name? Kathy Griffin?
Yeah.
Held a severed head that was supposed to be Trump. Madonna says, I've thought a lot about blowing up the White House. Johnny Depp said, it's been a long time since an actor has killed a president. That was John Wilkes Booth he was referring to.
And what about the rap video where they took a gun and put it to a person who was supposed to be President Trump's head and shot him? And was that a Snoop Dogg video?
It was, yeah.
Huh. That's interesting because Snoop Dogg's like the big ambassador for the Olympics now.
Both Olympics.
Huh.
Summer too, he was.
Interesting.
In the winter too.
That's interesting to me.
All right, I can't do any more of this. Just stop lying. Just stop lying. Maybe you'd have an audience if you just stop lying.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd have more than dozens of listeners.
Tens, I tell you.
Tens of listeners, my God. Okay, this is House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, saying that the United States is not supposed to be the policeman of the world.
This military action is connected to regime change. There's nowhere in the United States Constitution where it says that we are to be the policemen and women of the world. I mean, that's the reality. Yes, we are the leaders of the free world at this particular point in time, but there's a role for the United States to play in terms of diplomacy, building coalitions, and none of that was done in this particular instance. And the American people, again, are not interested in their taxpayer dollars being spent for another failed regime change war.
So, Hakeem Jeffries says we shouldn't be the policemen and women of the world. You see him throw that in there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the deal is this, okay? We're not being the policeman to anyone but ourselves here, because the United States would be threatened with a nuclear attack from Iran if we didn't act first.
Exactly. And he said, well, President Trump didn't get a coalition together. I think 9 countries in the Middle East alone, pretty good coalition.
You better watch how you talk when you talk about me.
He's a liar. He's just a liar.
And they keep saying he's got no plan. He's got no plan. He's got endless. Oh, it's an endless war already, by the way. It's been 6 days. It's already endless.
Endless.
It's endless war. That's so that, you know what? They need a new name for that. Ongoing war or whatever.
Something different.
Stop calling it an endless war, because of course it has to end. Even the Afghanistan endless war ended eventually.
Yeah.
So they say that President Trump has no plan. Oh, really? Okay. No plan.
We played audio from their press secretary from the Trump administration talking about the 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, right. And you know what? When you talk about Trump like that, and you say that he has no plan, and then he does have a plan, just like anything else can, I guess, they'll never admit that they were wrong. They'll never say, good job, President Trump.
I would argue that he said that knowing they had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had to wait to find out if there was or not. He just said that because he can. See, this is it. He says it, and then the media picks it up and says, well, he's a representative of the United States of America, so therefore we've got to be able to report that. But they neglect to report anything from any conservative representative of the United States.
You're right, Ken. All right, spin the wheel. Stop yelling at me, and let's go. Oh, boy. Appreciate all your comments, by the way, in the chat box.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Oh, here is an American who was asked a question, are you a Democrat or a Republican? And an interesting answer.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Well, I'm neither. I'm just a Trumpian. I guess that's a new thing now. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a Trumpian. Whatever Trump goes for, I'm with it. I don't trust either side. 2 different wings of the same bird. And Trump, he's just the American eagle, baby. That's what I love about him, man. He's the American eagle soaring on the mountain, man.
I love this guy.
Yeah, you can call it different things. MAGA, Trumpian, you can call it. If you're on the offensive, if you're conservative, you know what? Jamie Allman's show is named partially this, common sense. If you're common sense, I don't care what group you're with, if you see that, you have to at least acknowledge it.
Right, of course.
And they like it.
They do like it. And that guy sounds like he could have said, they're lying about what's going on in America. They're lying about it.
They're lying about it.
They're lying about it. You gotta say they lying about it.
Right.
That's how they
lying about it. They're
lying about it.
Right.
All right, spin the wheel. Oh, my God. They're lying about what's going on in America. They're lying about it. Oh, okay. So, Election Day. First of all, did that Election Day sneak up on you in Texas? It sure snuck up on me.
Well, I was reading about it, but yeah, it happened fast. It happened really fast.
I had no idea until the day before. Anyway, here's an NBC affiliate in Dallas reporting on closing times for the polls.
Yeah, interesting.
News here on the primary election. We've just spoken with Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, who tells us that voting is now extended until 9 p.m. for Democrats.
In Dallas County.
In Dallas County, okay. So that's the latest word from County Judge Clay Jenkins. We're getting confirmation on that, but right now it looks like voting for Democrats in Dallas County extended until 9 p.m. Republicans.
7 p.m.
The cutoff is still 7 p.m. as far as we know.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
keep you posted
yeah.
on that.
Now, when I got this clip audio, I saw the video and I'm like, okay, this is AI. And I checked with Grok, because Grok's usually pretty good if they can detect whether it's AI or not. And it's like, no, this is an actual report.
And it was true.
Yeah.
If you were a Democrat, you had 2 more hours to vote than if you were a Republican. And you know the problem, Ken? We let that story die. We let it die. We didn't go on the offensive.
So what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that every single person in the Senate and in the Congress, when they're speaking about whatever, even if it's not the bill at hand, say, oh, by the way, Democrats already cheated in Texas. They let Democrats vote 2 hours longer than they did Republicans. Okay, now on to this.
Yeah,
Every
you're
single
right.
one. There's no offense. We don't have a quarterback. We have a coach, a great coach, President Trump.
Yeah.
But we don't have a quarterback.
No, I have to agree with that, and that should be a bellwether for what's going to happen here this year. I think that if they can get away with these little things, 2 hours, that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. At least say, okay, we're extending the hours to vote, not Democrat or Republican, but 2 hours.
So how do they know? How do they know who's a Democrat and who's a Republican? You have to wait in line to find out that you can't vote? Is that how that
See,
works?
that's why it's so screwed up to me. That is totally
you,
screwed.
You look like a Republican. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of line.
So you walk in, you say, are you voting Democrat or Republican?
Right.
Well, I'm voting Republican. Well, you can't vote anymore.
That's what they
But
do?
no.
That's what they do?
They're voting right now. They're voting right now.
But they're Democrats.
But,
It's okay for them.
Well, I'm just voting Republican. So I can't vote? No, get out of here. Go away.
This should be on. I haven't heard this on Fox News yet.
No, you're
And
right.
I heard it the next day, but then I haven't Newsmax either. They're not getting away from me either.
No.
Every single conservative outlet, every single conservative radio show. Wait, there is no more conservative radio shows except you and me. Should say that this happened and let people know that it's happening because this is part of the cheat. Are you crazy? This couldn't be more black and white in your face.
I agree with you.
Spin the wheel. I'm not yelling at you.
No, I know. I'm used to it now.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I'm just used to your demeanor.
What is that supposed to mean?
Vic, you're just your demeanor. You're a New Jerseyan. You're very brash, and I don't care about that.
Okay, good. How about Secretary of War Pete Hegseth?
He's brash.
We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured, the absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honors them. No apologies, no hesitation, epic fury. For them and the thousands of Americans before them, taken too soon by Iranian radicals.
So those 2 others that have been identified, can we honor them this Wednesday? Is that okay with you?
We can, yes.
So let's make a plan to
All
do
right.
that.
All right.
That's all the time we have for the Wheel of Audio Clips. This is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the liberal population. Have your liberal spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
And Jamie Allman. Oh, yeah. 3 Martini Lunch, Common Sense Radio, all that stuff. Award winning. We get everything?
You got it.
We'll see you Monday.
See you, everybody.
Hey, it's Mike Ferguson. Mario's Donut Restaurant, that's your place to go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. From mouth-watering sandwiches, omelets, delicious gyros, and Mexican dishes, to their revamped menu with cannolis, tiramisu, baklava, and danishes. And don't forget those famous donuts. Dine in or carry out, Mario's friendly staff is ready to serve you with love and care. Mention NewstalkSTL when you visit, or just visit mariosdonutrestaurant.com.
Hey, Tony Colombo here, inviting you out for a great night of fun and rock and roll with the Queen Tribute Somebody to Love, Friday, March 20th at the Mill in Granite City. My band, Tony Colombo and the North County Sound Machine, featuring Katie Fitzpatrick, opens the show, followed by the ultimate Queen experience from Somebody to Love. That's Friday, March 20th at the Mill, Granite City's premier concert and event venue, brought to you by Weber Chevrolet. Support local music and join us for a great party. Tickets and info now at themill.events.
Life's legal challenges deserve experienced representation. For over 15 years, Cole Combs Attorney at Law has been serving St. Charles and surrounding counties with comprehensive legal expertise. From tax preparation and estate planning to family law and criminal defense, Cole delivers personalized solutions for your unique situation. You have traffic tickets, need a business formation, real estate matters, one call will handle it all. Cole O. Combs Attorney at Law. Call 636-9